games this year for Marist College. He was 0 for 3. Did score a pair of runs also. Morrisrow has the sign. He's ready to deal the 1-1 again. Here it is. A breaking ball dips below the zone for ball 2. The count is 2 balls and a 1 strike to Armitage. A .318 hitter with Sherrill this season, which surprisingly is only good enough for 6th on this Silversmiths squad, which says something about their offense for sure. 2-1. Fastball up and away for ball 3. Count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Rather, Reese is batting .318. Robert is batting .382, which is 3rd on the team. He has played in 15 of the team's 16 games up to this point. 21 of 55 at the plate. 3-1. Popped up into right field. Actually hit pretty well. Into right center. Gordon coming on to make the catch, and that's the first out of the game. Runner on first now and 1 away. Now to the plate is Sean Doherty, the right fielder. We are seeing the leading hitter in the NYCBL at the plate right now, as Doherty is batting .467, which is tops in the league. Throw over to first is not in time. Doherty has 21 hits on the year in 12 games coming into this one. Driven in 11 for Sherrill. Scores up the bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch misses inside for ball 1. The count is 1-0.
Meanwhile, while Doherty might be the league's biggest offensive stud, defensively there's a lot to be desired. 8 defensive errors so far this season.
Now, I believe the player in the box is actually not Sean Doherty, as the pitch is on the outside corner. Strike 1. The count is even up at a ball and a strike. The batter is actually Andrew Roden, number 18, native of Sherrill, New York. He's an incoming freshman at UMass Lowell. And we'll explain the confusion in just a moment as the 1-1 is fouled away to the right side. And we might be correct that it is Doherty at the plate initially, but the lineup that was posted in the Sherrill dugout had nicknames a bit on it. So we assumed it was Sean Doherty because the nickname for the 3rd spot in the order was Doey, which relates more to Sean Doherty than Andrew Roden, to say the least, as the throw over to first is not in time.
You know, in hindsight, it might have been just a really weird handwriting version of Rhodey. That's also possible.
That is definitely possible.
And even going from Doherty to Rhodey, you're not losing out on too much talent.
Mm-hmm. Pitch is high for ball 2, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morrisrow only facing his 3rd batter of the inning, but his pitch count getting pretty high for 1 inning. To this point, he's already at 16 pitches. The Sherrill offense very patient at the plate, too, as the 2-2 is low and in. Zarak keeps it in front of him, but on to second on the wild pitch is Cormier. Now a runner on second and 1 away, with a full count now on Roden. Silversmiths are 2nd in the league in walks, with 94 of them coming into this game. You know which team is first?
Which one?
The Onondaga Flames, as Morrisrow fakes the pickoff to second. And it's not really all that close, actually. Silversmiths are at 94 walks. The Flames have 108 of them in one less game.
You know, you can attribute that to a lot of these Flames hitters having a much more patient approach at the plate than other guys who really want to hack at everything.
Here's a payoff. Pitch is low and in, ball 4. Roden on to first. Runners on first and second, and 1 away. However, you can say also that Doherty, if he was the batter, maybe forgot his jersey, and he borrowed a jersey from somebody who's not playing tonight. However, I suspect that's not the case because Doherty is a right-handed batter, Roden's a left-handed batter, and the batter we just saw is left-handed.
So it's probably Andrew Roden. There was probably just a little bit of confusion.
Well, no doubt about who is at the plate now. It's Chris Turco, and he hits one in the air. Pretty high, pretty deep to left center. Gordon trailing back to the track, and he makes the catch. Tagging is Cormier, but he wasn't tagging initially. The throw is on target to third, and the runners hold up where they are. Fly ball out to center, 2 away.
And, that big power shot from Chris Turco went all the way to the warning track, but he doesn't really need to hit the weight room too much. Already 7 home runs on the year, leads the NYCBL in that category.
He didn't give us a chance to talk about him all that much, rather, in this at-bat, because first pitch he went up there swinging and hit a ball really well to center field. First pitch is high for ball 1 to the DH tonight, Matt Fitzgerald. We know him best for something he did during the rain delay on Monday afternoon in Sherrill. Went out to the home plate tarp in full catcher's gear, and he slid face first across the wet tarp as the fastball's on the outside corner for strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. That gets respect from his teammates, the Flames, and us up here for sure.
Certainly a lot of shenanigans happening. Also was slated to be the starting catcher that day, now playing designated hitter.
Morrisroe steps off the bump. That game on Monday was supposed to be the first meeting of the season between the Silversmiths and the Flames. Still no rescheduled dates for that game.
Best assumption, though, is that it'll be July 2nd when the Flames get another chance to visit the Silversmiths.
1-1. Popped up right side, but out of play. Strike 2, the count 1-2 to Fitzgerald. However, there were some talks at the ballpark on Monday that, given that both teams have an off day on July 3rd, that they might play back-to-back games, July 2nd and 3rd in Sherrill, rather than a doubleheader. There was some discussion there, as the 1-2 is fouled back to the netting. But again, this is not set in stone. There is no rescheduled date at all for that game at the moment, so we'll see what happens.
And playing 43 games in a 48-day span, they need all their off days they can get, so I think if they have to, they will try to schedule that doubleheader to avoid losing the off day.
1-2 is swung on a miss. Morrisroe overpowers him with the fastball, and that's out number 3. So Connor Morrisroe gets out of an early inning jam. It's the Sherrill Silversmiths 0, and the Onondaga Flames coming to bat here on Team Line. Welcome back to Onondaga Community College for the bottom of the first inning between the Silversmiths and the Flames. Here's the batting order tonight for the Flames, put together by head coach Mike Cordero. Leading off right now is the third baseman Mike Ruggiero. Batting second is the second baseman Brian Hart. Mike Netzel is the DH tonight. He bats third. The cleanup man is the left fielder A.J. DiFilippo. Batting fifth, the right fielder Colin Matthews. Batting sixth is Mike Stefan, the first baseman. Adam Gordon, the center fielder, bats seventh. Here's the first one for a brief second. Ruggiero, it's a fastball high, 1-0. Batting eighth is Jake Zurot, the catcher, and batting ninth is the shortstop Jake Evans. As here comes the 1-0. It's a fastball grounded to the left side. Picked that short by Armitage. The throw to first is a little low, but in time for the first out of the game. Flames are facing Ryan Cooper on the mound tonight. And the Silversmiths pitching staff ranks near the bottom in the league in many categories. However, Ryan Cooper is a little different from the rest.
The team ERA is 5.14. That is the lowest in the league, but Ryan Cooper ERA just under 4, 3.78, and sort of like Gunnar Grown. He's not a big guy, but he's not really the kind of power pitcher that pitches for strikeouts. He only has 5 in his 3 starts.
First pitch fastball missed for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. It's an off-speed pitch that's over for strike 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike to Brian Hart. Flames had an off day yesterday. Sherrill did not, as the pitch just misses for ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Flames last played the Wellsville Nitros on a Wednesday night. If you tuned in, that was quite the game. As here comes the 2-1. Pitches inside on Hart. 3 balls and 1 strike. Wellsville Nitros, with their chippy nature, brought it to the park. Some words were exchanged at times. As the 3-1 is hit in the air to right field. Taking a few steps in to make the catch is Roden. And that is the second out of the inning. 2 outs and nobody on. Here is the designated hitter, Mike Netzel. So meanwhile, in that game, the Flames were down 5-0 in the 6th inning. Put together a 4-run inning to get within 1, but neither team scored in the last 3 innings, and the Nitros won 5-4. Off speed just missed to Netzel. It's ball 1. The count is 1-0.
And talking to the guys since that game, they really wanted that win because you remember how the Nitros were in the dugout.
Pitched in the dirt, gets away for ball 2. The count 2 balls and no strikes. And the Flames got so close in those last 3 innings. They stranded 4 runners in the last 3 innings combined. 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 9th. As that fastball finds the outside corner, 2-1 to Netzel as Cooper gets back in the at-bats. As the 2-1 is grounded up the middle, picked on a slide out short by Armitage. The throw from first is in time, and a nice play by Armitage ends the inning. Flames go down 1-2-3 in the first. The game is scoreless after 1 between the Silversmiths and the Flames. Set to begin the second inning between Sherrill and Onondaga. Eric Moon, Brandon Ross with you here tonight. Morgan Chapman is on assignment. He will be back with me tomorrow, however, when the Flames take on the Syracuse Spartans. That's a 5:15 start from Blink Field. First one from Connor Morrisroe this inning is a fastball high to Vito Castronovo, the second baseman. It's ball 1, the count 1-0. Took Morrisroe 24 pitches to get through the first inning, but he got out of it without giving up a run. And he stranded a pair of Silversmith base runners as the 1-0 was high. 2-0 the count. Castronovo on the year hitting, well, is 8 for 39 at the plate in 10 games coming into this one as the off-speed finds the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to Vito Castronovo out of Herkimer County Community College, native of Utica, New York. 2-1 fastball. Finds the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Utica not too far from Sherrill. A little further east than Sherrill is from here, as Morsrow steps off the mound briefly. Castronovo played in 27 games with Herkimer County this year. Hit .361 as the 2-2 gets him looking on the lower third of the zone. Castronovo frozen at the plate, and it's the second strikeout of the night for Morsrow. Starting to find his rhythm a little bit, Brandon.
I don't want to jinx his hot start, but this is exactly the start he needed to get coming into this game. He obviously off to a slow start this season. He hadn't gone more than, I think, 3 or 4 innings in any start so far. He hasn't been eligible for a win yet, but off to a good start right now.
3 consecutive batters retired by Connor. And here's the first one, Mickey Mullins. He squares up the bunt, but pulls it back on a fastball that just misses the outside corner. It's ball 1. The count is 1-0. Mullins is a senior, an upcoming senior at SUNY Oneonta, native of Vestal, New York. Graduate of Vestal High School, as the fastball is outside for ball 2. Count is 2 balls and no strikes to the Sherrill center fielder. Mullins played in 32 games, all of them starts with SUNY Oneonta. As here comes the 2-0. Fastball line down the left field line. It's a base hit. Coming in to get it is DiFilippo. Mullins takes a big turnaround first, but puts on the brakes. And he has a 1-out single. Runner on first, 1 away here in the top of the second inning. Mullins all over a 2-0 fastball that stayed up at the zone that time. And he was able to hit a line drive down the left field line for an easy base hit. Here's the catcher, Alex Stroshine, also out of Nichols College, as the first pitch fastball is inside. Ball 1, the count 1-0.
It's really sad. They seem to trust him as their starting catcher. He's played in plenty of games this year, but 19 at-bats without a hit. Certainly not the start he was looking for.
He squares up the bunt on the 1-0, and Morsrow steps off the bump for a second. Stroshine has played in 8 games. He's 0 of 19 at the plate, though he has scored 4 runs, driven in 1. Runner goes, pitches for a strike. Bunt is missed. The throw down to second is not in time. The tag was there from Evans. However, getting to the bag first was Mickey Mullins for the stolen base.
The throw might have gotten there in time, might have been a little bit late, but even where he got there, Sherrill threw that one a little bit too far right of the bag. Had Evans needing to reach quite a ways to land that tag, probably put him in a bad position.
You want to throw that ball a little bit to the right of the bag, but the release was just a little too early, just a little bit from Surratt, as the tag was there, but at the same time as Mickey Mullins. 1-1 is the count to Stroshine. And here it is. Breaky ball is inside. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and a 1 strike to the Sherrill catcher. However, Stroshine has been a disciplined hitter at the plate despite the lack of hits. 8 walks on the year, and he's been hit by a pitch twice. 2-1 pitch, it misses for a strike. Throw down to third is a little high, and Mullins swipes third as well. However, because Zerrat's arm hit the home plate umpire, knocked his mask off, forced to head back to second base without a stolen base is Mickey Mullins. So that's no harm to either side, besides the fact that Mullins does not get a stolen base out of it.
Well, that's what you got to avoid if you're an umpire. This is not critical of the umpire. Obviously, there's not much you could do in that situation, but if you got to try to stay out of the action. That's sort of their job, especially when you're in the field. But even the home plate umpire can get caught in the action sometimes, and because of that, now Mickey Mullins has to head back to second base when he cleanly stole third.
It was a bang play. No chance for the home plate umpire to pop up and get out of the way in a split second that time. As here comes the 2-1 from Morsrow. The fastball gets the outside corner. And it's strike 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A bit of a late call from the home plate umpire that time. Got a couple groans from the Silversmiths fans in the audience in front of us tonight. Morrisroe with a pitch to work with here. 2-2 is the count, and he fakes a pickoff to second base. Stroshine back in the box. Reese Armitage on deck for Sherrill. And the 2-2 runner goes again, and Stroshine swings and misses. Throw down to third is well in time for the out. Strike him out, throw him out, and that retires the side. Game is still scoreless between the Silversmiths and the Flames going to the bottom of the second. Four, five, six in the Flame order to begin the bottom of the second inning. Here's A.J. DiFilippo, the left fielder, to lead things off. DiFilippo 2 nights ago was 1 for 4. Did drive in another run. One of the 4 Flame runs in the 6th inning against the Nitros. First one to DiFilippo is chopped foul to the right side at strike one. The count is 0-1. And DiFilippo is having quite the year. He has 7 RBIs in the last 2 games. Of course, 6 of them came against Hornell on Tuesday night. And that monster performance. 0-1. Fastball's outside. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And now he has 16 RBIs on the year, which is good enough for 5th in the NYCBL. 1-1, chopped towards first. Easy play for Turco. He'll jog into the bag for the first out of the second inning. One away, here is Colin Matthews, the right fielder. Matthews, 7 of 30 at the plate in 12 games so far this year. He has scored 6 runs, and of his 7 hits, 2 of them have gone for extra bases. First pitch just misses low for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Cooper working a little more quickly than Connor Morrisroe. He has a pretty fluid pace as the fastball finds the inside corner to even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike to Matthews.
The thing is, you can't get 2 in rhythm there. If you make the same time between pitches, then you could get hammered.
1-1 finds the zone again, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Matthews.
I was knowing this is a Syracuse Chiefs game last week when I attended. The pitcher on the mound for the opposing team was actually not varying his time between pitches at all.
Pitches outside, ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Whatever works for a pitcher, honestly, when it comes to pace. Gunnar Groen is a little slower. Ryan Cooper a little faster as Matthews hits a jam shot foul that might have just gone into the Silversmiths dugout. It was definitely heading towards it. 2-2.
Here's the thing. You can have your pace, but you can't have the same exact amount of time. The thing with this pitcher, the runners knew that, and they took advantage.
2-2. Matthews able to foul one off. A pitch that sawed him off. And the count still remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes as Matthews has been able to fight off 2 pitches in a row that have been on the inside part of the plate or around there. 2-2 again. Popped him up in the infield. Cooper saying it's up. Turco will make the catch. Well, rather, yes, he does make the catch. From our angle, it looked like it might have dropped a bounce to the shortstop, Robert Armitage, but Turco, after making the catch, quickly tossed it to him. 2 away. Here's Mike Stefan, the first baseman tonight, and Brandon, his batting practice looked good today.
His batting practice looked good. Coach Cordero liked everyone's batting practice today, and they need to hit if they want to win.
1-0 is the count to Stefan after the pitch missed outside. Here comes the 1-0 from Cooper, and Stefan chops it foul behind home plate. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And it's something you brought up earlier to me in this game, is that Mike Cordero said, rather earlier before the game, Mike Cordero has said that the key to being the Silversmiths is to hit, and hit again. As the pitch was low for ball 2, the count now 2 balls and 1 strike to Stefan. And with the way Stefan was hitting in the cage today, and the way the Flames were overall, as the pitch is low, 3 balls and 1 strike, is a good sign that the Flames might be able to get some runs on the board, maybe outscore Sherrill tonight. Stefan with a good count here. It's 3-1, and he grounds one hard towards short. Interesting hop for Armitage. He takes his time, throw to first, dug out of the dirt by Turco, but it's in time for the out. And the Flames go down 1-2-3 once again. 6th in a row, retired by Ryan Cooper to begin his night on the bump. Through 2 innings of play, the Silversmiths and the Flames are scoreless here on Team Line.
Back in the top of the third here at OCC Stadium, the Flames still with an even game here against the Sherrill Silversmiths. No score as Reese Armitage coming up first for the Silversmiths. Brandon Ross alongside Eric Moon, thank you for joining us. And Connor Morrisroe stepping out for his 3rd inning of work. Off to a hot start he hasn't seen so far this season. As Reese Armitage, his first at-bat tonight. First pitch to him is going to miss high, fastball just above the zone, count 1-0. Armitage, an outfielder, has a speed threat, as you can see. Mike Ruggiero playing deep close to the infield grass. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball missing outside. And now Morrisroe behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes here.
And Mike's anticipating a potential attempted bunt at a base hit to try and catch the Flames off guard to begin the inning.
The 2-0 is chopped over behind Morrisroe, fielded on the hop by Hart, and he'll fire over to first, but it's not going to be in time. Armitage reaches with the infield single to get the inning started, and now a base runner with nobody away, and now it brings up the top of the order and Nate Cormier.
It's a simple play, but Hart couldn't get the throw off in time because this happens sometimes, especially with infielders. The ball just gets stuck in your glove. It's a tough to get the ball out of your glove, and that's what happened there. Split second goes away, and on first base with an infield hit is Reese Armitage.
And sometimes the pace of the grounder just doesn't leave you enough time to field and throw in time. So now Reese Armitage leading off of first base. Nate Cormier 0 for 1 on the afternoon, but was able to reach his first time on an error. First pitch misses outside. Fastball released a little too late by Morrisroe. Counts 1 ball and no strikes. Cormier, that last play, there was a bobble over by Michael Sherrill. It actually went off his leg and bounced over into center field. Reese Armitage goes, swung on and missed. The throw down to second is going to get away from Jake Evans, and it looked like that got him in the head, and he's down on a knee over there by second base. He looks like he might be hurt.
That did get him hit in the head off the bounce. However, he's still down a little bit. He's back up now, but what I noticed about that play is it's not going to hurt as much as something else because the throw didn't hit him directly in the head, and also the way it ticked off his head, it didn't get too much of it, and it went straight into center field.
Evans is okay. He stays in the game now. Hart and Evans guarding Armitage closely on second after the stolen base. And after that, the ump rules play back in. And the righty Cormier against the righty Morrisroe on the mound. He shows bunt, goes it down the third baseline. A slow roller fielded by Morrisroe, but not in time to make a throw anywhere. And so now runners on first and third after the bunt single by Cormier.
I call that a turf single too because that ball's rolling foul at any grass field. For example, Blink Field tomorrow. That ball's rolling foul easily. But on a turf field, there isn't that effect of, the angles on the dirt or the angle of the grass at all. So that ball's going to stay where it is, going down the left field line and staying in fair territory.
Reese Armitage 90 feet away from scoring on third. His brother Robert up to bat with a chance to drive him in. First pitch, a fastball misses in the dirt. Count 1-0. Runner on first and third here. Nobody out. No, 1-0 count here to Armitage. Still no score here in the top of the third inning. A fake steal attempt as Morrisroe able to step off the bag and get him to retreat. It looks like the head coach of the Silversmiths, Tim Bailey, is going to discuss with a base umpire who thought Morrisroe balked there. We couldn't tell from up here whether it was a balk, but clearly head coach Tim Bailey very upset.
Well, the question is whether Morrisroe planted his foot towards the third base bag first before planting it towards the first base bag.
The 1-0 to Armitage is fouled back. Count's going to be evened up at a ball and a strike. Another interesting note about the Armitage brothers, one of them hits righty and one of them hits lefty. That's not something you see every day. There's things that are similar and different between twins, but that's an interesting one that you don't see every day.
You really don't see it every day, and it's not something you can explain either. It just happens.
Pickoff attempt over to first, and a leaping attempt for Stefan to keep that one from getting away, but he keeps it in the glove. So now 1-1 count here to Robert Armitage. Reese Armitage leads off third base, and off of first base, it's Nate Cormier. Another pickoff attempt over to first, nothing doing, as Cormier able to slide back in safely. Outfield's playing deep, corners in the infield. Morrisroe now working from the stretch with runners on. A third to first move, but no throw, as both runners able to get back safely. Morrisroe seems visibly a little rattled here with two runners on and nobody out in the third. He'd been getting into starts like this and letting things snowball out of control. He looked to be starting strong here, but now in a little bit of a pickle. The 1-1 is a breaking ball off speeder that just misses inside, so it's a 2-1 count here to Robert Armitage.
He is a little rattled, but because he keeps checking on the runners. If he doesn't check on the runners as much, it shows that he's focusing on the batter a little more, trying to get the first out of the inning.
The 2-1 misses inside. Armitage sticks up his arm to keep that one from hitting him, so a 3-1 count here. Runners on first and third, nobody out. Top of the third inning, no score so far, but the first possible run for the Silversmiths 90 feet away. And another run on first base, and another third to first pickoff attempt by Morrisroe, but both runners retreat back to the bags.
And if you're the Flames here, you don't mind trading a run for 2 outs. If Armitage hits a ground ball double play that scores a run, you're fine with it.
The 3-1 is one liner over to short, and that's going to get through for a base hit. That one gets through Evans, and Reese Armitage gets driven in by his brother Robert for the first run of the ballgame.
Well, if you're a Flames fan, he hit it to the right spot, but it took a bad hop on Evans. It was just too much for him to handle. RBI single, and now Sherrill has opened up the scoring.
And now 1-0, the Silversmiths lead here. And now that'll bring up Andrew Roden for his second at-bat. We mistook him for Sean Doherty at the start of the ball game because of a little bit of an error on the scorecard. There was no number listed with the name, and it was just a nickname. We had to take a guess. But now Andrew Roden, the right, as a balk is called on Connor Morrisroe. Another critical mental mistake you can't make here with 2 runners on. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the Silversmiths.
Well, the inning's starting to snowball out of control a little bit, and it's the right time for Robert Anders to visit the mound and talk to Morrisroe, the infield, and Jake Surratt.
This is the same loop that Morrisroe has fallen into in his first few starts of the year. Starting off okay in the first inning or two, but then he gets caught behind and things just spiral out of control. And a mound meeting here as Andrew Roden, the lefty, has no count on him. As on the first pitch, there was a pickoff attempt, but it was called a balk, and both Nick Cormier and Robert Armitage were able to advance to third and second, respectively. So now 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out. And Andrew Roden, no at-bats recorded so far today. A plate appearance that resulted in a walk back in the first. Roden crowding the plate against the righty Morrisroe. Rogerio playing slightly closer to the infield grass. First pitch misses high and outside, a fastball, and the count's 1-0.
The Sherrill offense is probably the best in the league, arguably the best in the league, but this is the toughest part of the order right here, and a tough situation to begin with.
Lined into shallow left field, going deeper, and making a running catch is going to be A.J. DiFilippo. But that's deep enough for Cormier to come around to score. So now 2-0, the Silversmiths on top with only 1 away in the third inning.
Oh, it's a good job, good piece of hitting by Roden. He gets a fastball that gets enough to the plate. He's able to hit it well the other way. Nice running catch by DiFilippo to prevent it from turning into a 2-run extra base hit. But the run scores anyway because it's a deep enough fly ball.
DiFilippo makes the catch. Runner comes in from third. Armitage stays at second base. And now the biggest power threat on this entire roster, possibly between both these teams, Chris Turco, as the first pitch is a breaking ball, misses low and away in the dirt. And the count's 1-0 here to Turco.
Yes, there's a runner in scoring position, but it's good for the Flames that only 1 runner is on base for Chris Turco, which would have been better than if the bases were loaded. For example, if Roden got on first and the run didn't score.
The 1-0 from Morrisroe is in the dirt in front of Surratt. He fields, makes an effort over to third, but he can't make a throw in time. And now the runner, Armitage, is 90 feet away from scoring the 3rd run of just this inning.
Well, it says something about the Silversmiths base running, too. Their stolen bases have gone up tremendously since the postponement on Monday. They're now 3rd in the league in stolen bases with 44. That was not a stolen base, but they're getting good jumps and they're taking bases with ease.
The 2-0 pitch misses high. Now 3 balls and no strikes here on Chris Turco. And notably, in that massive stolen base bump that they saw, never caught stealing.
44 of 48 on the base paths this year. That's really, really good.
3-0 to Turco, just misses above his head. Turco has to duck to get out of the way of that one, and he'll walk over to first base. So now runners on first and third with only 1 away here. Double play opportunity on for the Flames. And now Matt Fitzgerald looking to avenge his strikeout back in the first.
And walking Turco is, well, much better than him hitting a 2-run bomb. And now to have him on first base, you have a chance to get out of the inning with a ground ball double play to keep the deficit at 2.
Double play depth in the middle infield. Rogerio playing in. Down at third base, the first pitch to Fitzgerald is popped up into the shallow outfield. Drifting under that one is Brian Hart. He'll get called off in center by Adam Gordon, who will make the catch for out number 2. A critical out there for the Flames as they need that out, as now 1 out ends the inning with 2 runners on.
It's a critical out, and it's also a pitch that Fitzgerald flat out missed. A good fastball in the upper part of the zone, and Fitzgerald got way under it.
And now that brings up Vito Castronovo, struck out looking back in the last inning. Castronova out of Herkimer County Community College, a player from there supposed to play for the Flames this year. As the first pitch is in the dirt, a throw down to second from Surratt, misses, and it's going to be a throw down home as the runner tries to go, and he'll get gunned down. An interesting turn of events as Turco tries to go for second, and a throw is cut off, and a throw home gets Robert Hermitage trying to take home. So 2 runs in that inning, but more damage is avoided at the end of 2.5 innings of play. The Flames now trail 2-0 here at OCC Stadium. Back in the bottom of the 3rd inning, after the Silversmiths were able to put up a 2 spot in the top half, and now Adam Gordon will lead off for the Flames as they've gone down 6 up, 6 down so far in the first 2 innings. No runners on base, no hits to start off this one. The first pitch to Gordon from Ryan Cooper is a fastball, misses just off the plate, and the count's 1-0. Gordon's batting average gone down lately, but still among the better hitters on this ball club, hitting .280 entering today, as the 1-0's lined down the left field line, but breaks foul, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike. Gordon also a threat if he gets on base. A lot of stolen bases so far this season, only credited with 3, but has been way more active on the base paths if you've been watching these ball games, as that one's going to get roped in the middle between first and second. A diving attempt to stop it by the second baseman Castronovo. A throw is wild, and a attempt at 2 by Adam Gordon. He's going to go for 3. The throw from the catcher is going to be not in time. So it's a single for Adam Gordon and an errant throw by Vito Castronovo. And on the error, 2 bases for Adam Gordon, now on third with nobody out. Crucial mistake by Vito Castronovo. There seemed to be no path to getting it out at first base, but his attempt at a throw cost 2 bases, and now Adam Gordon 90 feet from scoring with nobody out, and now Jake Surratt up to bat for the Flames.
There's honestly no reason for him to make that throw. Just cough it up. Well, rather, keep it and just hold him to a single.
First pitch to Surratt is a strike down the middle, taken without a hack, and counts 0-1. And there goes to the testament of how dangerous Gordon is on the base paths. That throwing error didn't get too far away from the man behind the backup, as that pitch misses on a cut and a miss. Counts 0-2 as Surratt gave way to that dirt ball.
And there wasn't even that much hesitation from the catcher Stroshine to back up the play at first base. He was there. He was on target, but Gordon's hustle beat the throw out to third base.
The 0-2 to Surratt is going to be lined down the right field line for a base hit. It's going to get between first and second. Gordon will come around to score, so a run in for the Flames, only trailing 2-1 now with no outs in the inning.
Well, I tell you what, something I've noticed from Surratt, he hasn't been racking up the hits nearly as much as some of these other guys, but I noticed especially in batting practice today he's got some great power the other way. His first double of the year was a line drive down the right field line. That was a hard grounder to the right side through the hole for the RBI hit. Flames only trail by 1 now.
And now Jake Evans up for the Flames as that pitch from Cooper misses high on the fastball. Count's going to be 1-0. That one, an inside-out swing, gets just between Turco and Castronovo down the right side. As that's only the second hit of the day for the Flames, both coming this inning. The righty Evans against the righty Cooper shows bunt, puts it down the third base line, just bounces foul. as Cormier touches it foul down the third base line. The count's going to be evened up at a ball and a strike.
And I like the surprise bunt because if it stays fair, that's an easy hit. There's not even a throw there for Nate Cormier to make.
Jake Evans, no recorded stolen bases on the season, but definitely a presence on the base paths. A very speedy player out of the University of Binghamton. Surratt gets a leadoff first, a pickoff attempt, but nothing doing over on the bag as he's able to get back safely. Fake steal popped up by Evans into shallow right center field. Both right and center converging on it, but the catch will be made by the right fielder Andrew Roden for the first out of the inning. Mark that an F9, and now the top of the order up for the Flames, Mike Ruggiero, coming up after grounding out to short his first time up.
And the first time through the order, we've seen some pretty quick at-bats by Flame standards. And now what I'm expecting to see in the second turnaround, maybe a little more patience at the plate. You know, they know a little bit about Cooper now.
Surratt steals, swing and a miss. The throw down gets away from Vito Castronovo, and there was no tag placed, but it looks like it's going to get called batter's interference. So now Rogerio's going to get called out, and Brian Hart is going to Brian Hart's going to come up. Surratt going to get sent back to first. That was a very interesting play. It looks like what happened was Mike Ruggiero took a hack at a ball in the dirt, and then it left the batter's box and got in the way of Stroshine trying to make the throw down. So Ruggiero called out on the interference, and the stolen base by Surratt is wiped, and he goes back to first base now 2 away with a runner on first. I don't know if that's a mistake as much as just a case of bad luck there.
I didn't see it very well, but I think it was bad luck because when you're reaching out for that ball in the dirt, your momentum carries you towards the plate.
First pitch is a dirt ball to Brian Hart. Count's going to be 1-0.
And that might be one where Ruggiero was just reaching out. He couldn't stop his momentum from him hovering over the plate, which was right where Stroshine popped up to try and throw down to second base in time.
A pickoff move at first base is unsuccessful as the righty Hart steps in for the second pitch against the righty Cooper on the mound. He deals. That's going to be ripped into left field for a base hit. So a 2-out single here for Brian Hart. Now runners on first and second with 2 away. And that'll bring up Mike Netzel, the designated hitter for the Flames. And if you want a guy to give you clutch, this is the guy you want at the plate. Mike Netzel, just a stellar offensive bat for the Onondaga team. So far, 4 RBIs on the season, but definitely a good hitter. 390 leads the ball club.
He'll get on base and he'll do his thing in different ways. 2 nights ago against Wellsville, he was 2 for 4 with an RBI double. 3 nights ago against Tornell, he only had 1 official at-bat out of 6 plate appearances. Reached base with 4 walks and a hit batsman.
On-base percentage, .545 on the season, makes it on base in over half of his at-bats. A very productive player. Out of a D3 school, usually you see the batters take the tough time to adjust, especially out of the smaller schools. Not so much for him. That fastball misses outside on the first pitch. Count's going to be 1-0. So it's Jake Surratt leading off of second base. Brian Hart leading off of first. The 1-0 is skied into right field. Moving in on that one's going to be Andrew Roden. He'll make the catch for the final out of the inning. 2 runners stranded for the Flames, but they're able to put a run up. And heading into the top of the 4th inning, the Flames trail the Silversmiths 2-1 here at OCC Stadium. Top of the fourth inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames able to put up a run in the bottom half of the third. Now it's a 2-1 ball game. Vito Castronovo leading off the fourth for the Sherrill Silversmiths. Home plate umpire talking to the Silversmiths dugout real quick. Time called, but now play is back in. And Morris Rowe ready for his fourth inning of work out there on the mound. The first pitch is going to be a fastball inside, and the count's 1-0. So far for Morris Rowe, line score 2 runs on 4 hits. 1 error behind him in the field as the 1-0 pitch is fouled back towards the trees. So the count evens up at a ball and a strike. So not the best start for Morris Rowe, but it's better than a lot of the starts he's had. He's not been able to make it out of the third inning in most of his starts. The 1-1 just catches the outside corner on the fastball, and the count's a ball and 2 strikes. Ruggiero playing close to the bag over at third, anticipating just the possibility of a bunt. The 1-2 is chopped foul down the third baseline, and the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes here on Castronovo. Last time up in the second inning, Castronovo got struck out on pitches. He was caught looking back in the second. The 1-2. Fastball misses way outside. Morris Rowe let go of that one just a little bit late. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes, but Morris Rowe still got a pitch to work with out there on the mound. Morris Rowe working from the windup here, the 2-2. Is a breaking ball, misses in the dirt outside, and from being ahead in the count 1-2, now a full count here to Vito Castronovo.
And they can't let the leadoff man on base. Silversmiths got the leadoff man on in the last inning. Got to keep him off here.
The 3-2 is a breaking ball, misses ball 4, and now Castronovo running, possibly thinking about 2, but he'll hold up at the first base bag as that one gets past Jake Surratt on ball 4, but just a simple walk here on the wild pitch. And now runner on first, nobody out for Mickey Mullins.
And that's what's usually been the problem for Morris Rowe in his starts, the walks, but he has 3 so far through 3+ innings.
Mullins 1 for 1 today as he thinks bunt, pulls back, but that catches the outside corner. And the count's 0-1. Last time up, Mullins reached on a single. That one in the second inning, eventually stole second, tried to steal third, but it got caught to make the second out of the inning, and then it was actually an easy bang-bang play, a strikeout and a throwout, as a throw-off attempt over to first is not in time. So Castronovo leading off of first base. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. 2-1. The Silversmiths lead the Flames. A bunt attempt here by Mullins, but he's going to pull back as that fastball misses outside. And the count's evened up at a ball and a strike.
And that caught stealing at the end of the inning shows the effect of batter's interference on the catcher Surratt. He tried to get Mullins out at third base a couple pitches prior to that, but he was interfered with, got him out the second time.
Morris Rowe working from the stretch. The 1-1 fastball catches the outside corner. And now Morris Rowe ahead in the count 1-2. We saw this in the last at-bat, but Morris Rowe ended up digging himself a hole and walking Castronovo over to first. Now a chance to get another out here. Double play chance in effect as the pickoff attempt is not in time. Mullins crowding into the box here. Castronovo leading off of first. Morris Rowe steps off. And he'll set back up again. And now the 1-2 count here on Mickey Mullins. The pitch is going to get lined down the right field line foul over near the Silversmiths bullpen. Count's going to stay at 1-2.
Looks like Jake Griffin getting up in the Flames pen, throwing some tosses, getting warmed up.
This is close to the farthest Morris Rowe has made it in any start this season as the 1-2 pitch misses between the legs of Jake Surratt. They'll get called a ball in the dirt. And then on the wild pitch, Castronovo advances to second. This has been Morris Rowe's biggest problem. His accuracy has been a huge issue. A lot of wild pitches and pass balls causing runners to advance.
It's a tough one for Corral. That specific one for Zarat. He's a former hockey goalie, and that one went right through his 5-hole.
Yep. The 2-2. Grounded between third and short for a base hit. Holding up as third is Castronovo. And still nobody out. A single brings the runner over to third. Now first and third here with nobody out.
And it's a good thing it was hit on the left side of the infield because it was so close to Ruggiero. It was a great effort, the diving effort, but it was just out of his reach. That forced the runner Castronovo to hold up initially, and he had to hold up at third base as a result.
So now runners on first and third with nobody out. That brings up Alex Stroshine. Now off to an 0 for 20 start of the season. Runner goes to second. The throw down is going to get off the glove of Brian Hart at second base, and the runner's going to score from third. It's now 3-1 Silversmiths. A great throw down to second by Jake Surratt. Almost got Mickey Mullins in time, but Brian Hart couldn't glove that one. Just tipped off and rolled into right field.
Stolen base for Mullins, but an E4 on Hart that scores Castronovo. Hart was just thinking a little too far ahead because he was tagging the runner. He was tagging Mullins before he even had the ball in his glove.
Gotta see the ball and catch the ball before you use anything with it, as that pitch catches the strike zone. Count's gonna be 2 balls and a strike. Morserow, runner on second behind him. No one covering. The 2-1 is a breaking ball in the dirt. Morserow unable to get a grasp of that breaking ball lately. Now it's a 3-1 count here to Stroshine. Stroshine has reached base despite having a 0 batting average this season, as Morserow steps off to look over to second, but there won't be a throw. Still reaching base close to 35% of the time. And so a walk is not uncommon here for Stroshine, as he'll line that one foul down the right field line. That's going to load up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
If there's any way to be a good hitter without getting hits, it's the way Alex Stroshine is doing it right now.
He's walked 8 times so far this season. So he has reached base in 8 of his recorded 20 at-bats, though there were likely more plate appearances involved. The 3-2 is going to get chopped over the head of Morserow, fielded on the hop by Evans. He'll fire to first for the first out. So a 6-3 put out by Jake Evans, only 1 away here though, and a runner banging on the gate at third base, only 90 feet away.
It's a productive out, but you'll take it if you're the Flames, because you're just trying to get on the board. When it comes to outs this inning, there's a runner on third now and 1 away, and now you have to make sure you retire Armitage unproductively.
Reese Armitage singled his last time up, eventually came around to score. Armitage, generally considered the more deadly hitter of the two Armitage brothers. The first pitch, a fastball, just catches the outside corner for strike 1. The Armitage brothers, both freshmen at Marist this past year, but Reese got significantly more playing time than Robert. Reese actually had more than 20 starts on the year, while Robert only came in as a sub 6 times. As the 0-1 pitch misses low, count's going to be a ball and a strike.
That hasn't been a complete flip with the Silversmiths, but Robert is having a better year when it comes to batting average, and he's played in 2 more games than Reese.
1-1, fastball right down the middle. And now Armitage behind the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 just misses inside. And now the count's even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes, but Morserow still on the mound with a pitch to work with in this at-bat.
And he's already at 80 pitches in his outing tonight.
Makes sense why Griffin's warming up in the bullpen. The 2-2. Fastball gets outside, and now the count goes from 1-2 to loaded up at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Griffin is not throwing now, which tells me either he's taking a little rest in this process of warming up or he's ready to go.
Probably ready to pull Morrisville at any moment here should more runs come around to score. Now 3-2, count the payoff. Cut on and missed by Armitage at the plate. That's the fourth strikeout of the evening for Connor Morrisville on the mound. Now 2 away, top of the order coming up for the Silversmiths.
And if you're going to go out of the zone on 3-2, that's how you do it with that high fastball. You force the batter to chase. That's how you do it for the second out.
Sometimes it's just too tough to lay off the high cheddar. And now Nate Cormier up for his third at-bat. First pitch, a breaking ball, doesn't quite break into the zone, counts 1-0. Cormier 1 for 2 on the night. Singled back in the third inning, reached on an error back in the first. And still Mickey Mullins leading off of third base, 90 feet away from scoring as the 1-0 pitch misses in the dirt, now ball 2. Runner on third, 2 away, 2-0 count here on Nate Cormier. The Silversmiths now out to a 3-1 lead in the top of the fourth. Morrisville out of the stretch, the 2-0. Is going to be popped up into shallow right field, drifting back behind the outfield grass is going to be Brian Hart. He'll make the catch and retire the side here for the Silversmiths. A run up on the board for Sherrill, but further damage is avoided as heading into the bottom of the fourth inning, the Flames trail 3-1 here at OCC Stadium. Bottom of the fourth here at OCC Stadium. The Flames now trailing 3-1 after the Silversmiths able to put up another run in the top half. Now A.J. DiFilippo up for his second at-bat of the night. And the first pitch is a fastball misses low, count 1-0. Last time up, A.J. DiFilippo grounded out to first, and then Chris Turco took it to the bag himself. The 1-0 pitch misses, and it's going to get cut foul down the left field line, very deep. Long foul ball here. The count's even up at a ball and a strike.
Well, that's a fastball that he's just a little late on. It went pretty far down the left side, but swings earlier. That's in fair territory.
No shift on the lefty DiFilippo as the 1-1 pitch is chopped foul towards the Silversmiths dugout. And now DiFilippo behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. DiFilippo stepping pretty close into the batter's box as the 1-2 is a breaking ball, misses outside. And the count's even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield playing deep here for DiFilippo, a big power threat, 2 home runs on the year as the 2-2s fouled on a line towards the Flames bullpen. Count's going to stay at 2-2, and DiFilippo, one of the better hitters at fighting off bad pitches and waiting for the one he wants. Cooper working from the windup. The 2-2 is going to get lined foul again, this time towards the Silversmiths bullpen. No mercy on the pitchers anywhere tonight for A.J. DiFilippo. Count still 2-2.
That's 3 hard foul balls in this at-bat by DiFilippo. It shows that he's ready in this at-bat tonight. He's seeing the ball well, and he's hitting it well as a result.
Time is called here on the field, as now a player from the Silversmiths bullpen has to go retrieve that foul ball down the line. So the ball is retrieved and play is called back in. Cooper working from the stretch. The 2-2 is going to get fouled behind home plate. And so DiFilippo really fighting this at bat. What's about to be either the 8th or 9th pitch here. Still 2-2 count on DiFilippo, with the Flames still trailing 3-1. The 2-2. Chopped on the ground towards first base. Another 3 unassisted recorded for AJ DiFilippo. And now 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, that's another pitch he's just trying to fight off, but he rolls over it, unfortunately, down the first base line. It stays fair for the first out of the inning.
Now Colin Matthews up with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Matthews popped out over to first base back in the 2nd inning. First pitch, a fastball misses inside. Matthews brushed off the plate a little bit. Count 1-0. Pitching quick here, the 1-0 from Cooper is going to get grounded over to short, fielded near the infield grass by Armitage. The throw over to first is in time for out number 2.
Well, the Flames are, at least this inning, are rolling over on those breaking balls from Cooper and turning them into easy ground balls for the Silversmith infield. They got to be a little more patient with their pitches, with the pitches they choose to swing at.
Maybe a little more selective and maybe a little more better performing. Some rollovers here early on as the first pitch to Mike Stefan. And his second at-bat catches the outside corner for strike 1. Last time up, Mike Stefan grounded out over to shortstop, and the throw back to the pitcher gets away from Cooper on the mound. That rolls into center field, so we'll have a quick timeout here as that gets back into the mound. Stefan has gone in and out of the starting lineups at varying times, but as we mentioned, he was killing it in batting practice earlier today. Excited to see what he could do here today. He's been on and off in the starting lineup and also on and off hitting-wise this season. As the 0-1 misses low, Kent's going to even up at a ball and a strike.
Tell you what, I see a big gap between the left fielder Reese Armitage and the center fielder Mickey Mullins.
The 1-1 pitch misses outside for ball 2.
Bigger gap than most. If he's able to get one into that left center gap, he'll have himself extra bases.
Mullins shaded closer to the right side of the field as the 2-1 pitch misses low. Count now 3-1 here to Mike Stefan. Infield again, playing deep here with 2 away. The 3-1. That one, a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Counts now full at 3-2 here to Stefan. Cooper from the windup, the 3-2 payoff is going to be fouled off the foot of Mike Stefan. He'll stay alive, but he's going to take that one off the foot. And now time is called as Stroshine goes out to meet with Cooper on the mound. Stefan working to fight for his right pitch, kind of like DiFilippo was doing at the beginning of this inning, a true fighter in waiting for his right pitch, but sometimes you just run out of pitches to fight off, as you saw with DiFilippo, grounding one out to first back for the first batter of this inning as the 3-2 misses inside for a ball four. No! That one looked like it almost hit Stefan, and he shows where he thought that one was near the batter's box with his bat, and that's dangerous with an umpire, but that retires the side for the Flames. No runs, no hits, no one left on base, and Stefan strikes out looking to end the inning. Heading into the top of the 5th, the Flames trail 3-1 here on Team Line.
Set to begin the fifth inning between the Silversmiths and the Flames. Eric Moon, Brandon Ross with you tonight. As the new pitcher on the bump for the Flames is Jake Griffin. Griffin is making his 8th appearance on the season. He's pitched in 11 and a third innings so far. He's allowed 10 runs, 9 earned, 12 walks, 19 strikeouts, and he has an 0-1 record. He begins with 2-3-4 in the Silversmith order. First, it's Robert Armitage, the shortstop, but the first pitch is well outside for ball one, the count 1-0. Connor Morrisroe, probably his best start of the season to this point tonight. Definitely his longest, going 4 innings. 1-0 stays outside. 2-0 now to Armitage. Morrisroe pitched 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 walks, 3 runs, all earned, and he struck out 3. Popped up right side, Stefan, Hart, and Matthews going after it, but it lands out of play in the grass. It's strike 1, the count 2 balls and 1 strike to the Silversmith shortstop. Time to take a look around the NYCBL at the out-of-town scoreboard. This afternoon and evening, the Syracuse Spartans tangoed with the Cortland Crush in a doubleheader, and the Spartans got the best of them both times. In the final game that finished up just a little while ago, as the 2-1 breaking ball finds its own 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spartans edged out Cortland 3-2, and now the Spartans are 12-5 on the season in first place. It's Armitage fans at a breaking ball for strike 3, and that's the first out of the 5th inning. Another game tonight in Olean between the Hornell Dodgers and the Olean Oilers. No updates on that one, on whether the game has even started. 3 other games currently in action besides this one here in Onondaga. As the first pitch here to Andrew Roden misses low. Ball 1, the count 1-0. In Rome tonight, Rome, New York rather, not Rome, Italy. The Generals have a 5-1 lead over the Saltcats in the top of the 4th. Slow off speed finds the outside corner. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. In Rochester, that game's in the bottom of the 3rd, and the Ridgemen are dominating the Niagara Power as the 1-1 is inside. 2 balls and a strike to Roden. 8-0. The Ridgemen lead the Power. And in the bottom of the 4th, in Genesee, as the pitch is inside again, 3 balls and 1 strike. The Rapids have an early advantage on the Wellsville Nitros, 2-0. Genesee in the bottom of the 4th inning. That's your look at the NYCBL out-of-town scoreboard. As the 3-1 just misses the outside corner. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count on the scoreboard was wrong here. So that was actually ball 3, and the count was 2-2. Here's a payoff, and the pitch is inside for ball 4. Roden is the first base runner of the inning for Sherrill. 1 on, 1 away. That brings up Chris Turco, who is 0 for 1 on the night. Second team in a row that the Flames have faced. The second team in a row the Flames have faced that has featured one of the 2 best hitters in the league. Chris Turco, the best hitter on this Sherrill offense, as the pitch was in the dirt for ball 1, the count 1-0. Turco leads the NYCBL in 2 offensive categories. He is first in home runs with 7, and first in RBIs with 26, which is 8 ahead of the next best total, which is 18, which belongs to Kyler Kent of the Hornell Dodgers. Fastball is outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Turco. As a matter of fact, the Silversmiths have all the Triple Crown categories, as Sean Doherty leads in batting average, too. 2-0. Turco fouls it off the catcher, Jake Zerat. And back in the at-bat is Jake Griffin, 2 balls and 1 strike. Turco has flied out to center. That was in the first inning. On the first pitch, he hit it well, but it didn't quite make it to the track, and it turned into an easy catch for Adam Gordon. And then he drew a walk in the 3rd inning. Fouls one off the netting to the right side on this pitch, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Griffin has Turco in a pretty dangerous count here, at least for Turco, not Griffin. He has a pitch to work with. Throws over to first. Caught him running. Throw down to second for Evans is there. He's in a pickle. Roden is. Stefan now to second for Hart. The tag is there. It is in time for the out. That will count as a caught stealing to Andrew Roden. That'll go down as a 1-3-6-3-4 on the base paths.
You know, that's a lot of numbers. You don't really see a lot of that every day.
You only see it when you see a pickle like that one. And now, 2 outs and nobody on base with a 2-strike count to Turco. Griffin 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. However, the breaking ball is low and outside that time for ball 3. Count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff from Griffin. And he can't get Turco to chase on another breaking ball outside. It's ball 4. Griffin serves his second walk of the inning. And there's a runner on with 2 away.
I mean, you can't help the 2-out runners sometimes. And Griffin, you know, he's still off to a hot start. I wouldn't expect this to spiral too out of control. Griffin is very good at controlling these kind of situations.
And he faces Matt Fitzgerald here. And the breaking ball is in the dirt for ball 1. The count 1-0. Fitzgerald, the DH tonight, is 0 for 2. Struck out in the first, flied out to center in the third inning. As Griffin looks in for the sign from Jake Surratt. Checks on the runner at first. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball outside. 2-0 the count. And interestingly enough, in Fitzgerald's first 2 at-bats, when he recorded an out, he was the final out in the inning. So we'll see if there's more of the same here. As the 2-0 finds the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to the Silversmith DH. Second in the league in batting average. He's up there among the league leaders in batting average. .441. Good enough for second on the Sherrill squad as he bloops 1 foul to the right side. At strike 2, the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fitzgerald has played in 10 games up to this point. 15 of 34 at the plate entering the night. Now he's 15 of 36. 1 double, 3 home runs. As the 2-2 is a jam shot foul into the netting down the right side, just above the Silversmith dugout. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. He has also driven in 10, which is tied for 4th on the team, as the throw over to first is not in time to get Turco. Interestingly enough, Fitzgerald hasn't drawn a walk yet, but he has only struck out 4 times, so he usually puts the ball in play. 2-2, fouled back to the netting. Good battle here, and the count still is at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Fitzgerald taking an approach very similar to a lot of the Flames hitters tonight, really fighting off, waiting for his pitch. That's why he's been so successful all year.
Here comes another 2-2, and Fitzgerald pops it up. That will get out of play to the right side again. And he just keeps fighting him off. Approaching the 10th pitch of this at-bat. Griffin ready to deal it. And here is the 2-2. It's popped up again. Towards left center field. Gordon is running in, and he makes a sliding catch for the final out of the inning. Silversmiths strand 1, and we're halfway home from OCC Stadium. Flames trail Sherrill 3-1. Bottom of the order for the Flames in the bottom of the 5th inning. Adam Gordon, the center fielder, will lead things off as the throwdown has been made by the Silversmiths. So the defense is ready to go for this bottom of the 5th inning. Gordon just getting out of the dugout now. And now he's walking towards the batter's box. Gordon, his first time up, got to third base on a single and an error with good hustle and just a little bit of luck. It was a ground ball to the right side towards the hole. As here comes the first one from Ryan Cooper this inning, and that fastball finds his own for strike one. The count is 0-1. Cooper at 58 pitches now on his night. Pitch count pretty good through 4 innings. As the 0-1 fastball is up and away for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. He gets through this inning with the lead, and he is in position, and he's eligible for the victory tonight if Sherrill holds on. 1-1. In the dirt, ball 2. The count 2 balls and a 1 strike to Gordon.
Also, his low pitch count, a testament to how fast this game is going. We're an hour and a half in, and we're just starting the bottom of the 5th inning, so we're at about the halfway point of what an average pace game should be.
2-1 hit in the air to left center field, pretty deep. Back is the left fielder, Armitage. That ball is off the wall. Gordon races around second. He's hustling for 3, but puts on the brakes. Thinking about going back to second was Robert Armitage, but no play was there, and Adam Gordon has his second hit of the night, a leadoff double, and the tie and run comes to the plate for Onondaga.
You know, the one run the Flames were able to get on base to start out the inning so far today, they were able to bring around their only run. And now to get that run on second base to start off, both times it was Adam Gordon. First time up, he singled and had a 2-base error. And now on second base early on with a great chance to score.
And Jake Surratt is the man at the plate. He drove in Gordon from third base his first time up. Right-handed batter swings at a first pitch fastball up just above the zone and misses for strike 1. The count is 0-1. It was on an 0-2 pitch that Surratt grounded the ball through the right side and into right field for a base hit. That was his second RBI of the season. As here's the 0-1. It hits him on the left shoulder after he is able to pull the bunt back. Or it hit the bat. The ruling is that it hit the bat according to the home plate umpire. Mike Cordero is not having it. Surratt's telling the home plate umpire where it hit him. And now he's awarding him first base on a hit batsman. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and the Sherrill fans that are here are saying no way.
The Sherrill faithful are here and present tonight, and now Tim Bailey is going to have a discussion with the home plate umpire. He's not happy either.
Well, if you can convince the umpire that it hit you by showing him what your left forearm looks like, that definitely shows you that it actually did hit Surratt for sure. I thought it did initially.
I mean, if you have a big fat bruise on your forearm, it's probably likely that that's where it hit and not the bat.
And what helps is that the pitch from Cooper was a fastball that just got away. It got away, so a fastball is more likely to bruise your forearm than a breaky ball is, for one thing.
Absolutely, and also worth noting, as you get higher up on the arm, you get a louder, more thin sound, so it sounds a lot more like a bat than it does. Obviously, it doesn't sound perfectly like a bat, but it sounds closer to what a bat would sound like.
So 2 on and nobody out as the home plate umpire continues to talk to Alex Stroshine, the catcher for Sherrill. And now the conversation ends and Evans is able to step in the box. Jake Evans with a big RBI opportunity here. With nobody out, potentially to get the Flames within 1 or even tie the game. But instead he's going to scrap the bunt, pops it up, it's foul, and then sliding in was Turco to grab the baseball, and Stroshine flipped over him. Dangerous play, but everybody's okay. No balls and 1 strike to begin the AB.
That was a nasty collision between Turco and Stroshine over in foul territory. Thankfully, it looks like both of them are okay. But obviously, if you're Jake Evans, you need to bump better if you want to get that down and move up the runners.
And that's the angle of the bat. You want the barrel above the handle rather than below. Because if it's below the handle, Then the ball pops up rather than going into the ground. 0-1, squares up the bunt again, pulls it back, and the pitch just misses the outside corner. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And what I'm noticing here is that Chris Turco, the first baseman, is coming in. But the third baseman, Nate Cormier, is not because Adam Gordon is on second base.
You know, the big strategy here is if it manages to go down the first base line, Turco wants to fire that to third as soon as humanly possible.
1-1 breaky ball is low and away as Evans pulls back the bunt again. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Obviously, the goal for Evans is going to be to put it down the third base line, but Turco coming in just as a safety measure because on the off chance they can get that out at third, they're going to want to take it up 2 runs with 2 on.
Now 2-1 the count to Evans. See if the bunt's still on. It is. And he lays it down the third base side. Picked up right away by the catcher Stroshine. His only play is at first. It's in time. And Evans with the perfect sacrifice bunt moves another runner into scoring position. Runners on second and third. 1 away here in the 5th.
No, being able to move those runners over is huge. Now you got 2 in scoring position. The runner on second would tie this ball game up.
And here is Mike Ruggiero with a chance to potentially tie the ball game up. We'll see what he can do this time up as the Flames begin their third turn through the order. Ruggiero, for the third time this year, is the leadoff man for the Flames. First one of him just misses the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes. And it's Ruggiero's first start of the year at third base. Usually a shortstop for this Flames squad. 1-0 from Cooper. Big cut and a miss by Ruggiero at the fastball. Count evens up at a ball and a strike as Cooper reaches 69 pitches.
Only 69 pitches here in the 5th inning. A very nice outing so far here for Ryan Cooper on the mound.
Squaring up the bunt is Ruggiero, and the pitch is well outside. He pulls it back, and it's ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Perhaps looking for the suicide squeeze right there to get at least 1 run home this inning. Two and 1 is the count to Ruggiero. And here it is. He fouls it away to the right side. Gets out of play. It's strike 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking at the field, there is a pretty big hole to the left side of the infield because the shortstop Armitage shaded towards the back. Now he's heading back to his regular spot. But a big hole up the middle because shaded to the right side is the second baseman Vito Castronovo. So if he's able to get it past the pitcher Cooper and it goes up the middle, perhaps a 2-run single for Ruggiero.
Deep outfield here at OCC Stadium, so the gaps are always big no matter where the outfielders are positioned.
But if he can get one down that right field line, which looks pretty open to this point as the catcher Stroshine gives Cooper some words of encouragement, that would be a 2-run hit to tie the ball game up for sure, because the right fielder Andrew Roden is playing a little bit to the right side because Ruggiero is a right-handed batter. If he can shoot it down the line, perhaps that ought to work. However, he swings and misses at a breaking ball for strike 3, and that is the second out of the 5th inning. Now Brian Hart at the plate with a chance to drive in a run or 2. After the strikeout by Ruggiero, Hart is 1 for 2 on the night. And the fielding position in the outfield, at least, is pretty much the exact same for this time up. First pitch breaking ball is low and away. Ball 1, the count. Now 1 ball and no strikes. Here is the 1-0, and that pitch just misses the outside corner. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and no strikes, and the Sherrill faithful here at OCC groans again. That outside corner, not easy to get if you're a pitcher tonight against a right-handed hitter.
Certainly not.
2-0. Hart hits in the air, high to right field. Taking a couple steps in is Roden, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Flames get 2 on to begin the inning, but they strand them both in scoring position. And it's still 3-1 Silversmiths after 5 innings of play. Back for the 6th inning between the Silversmiths and the Flames. 6, 7, 8 in the Sherrill order. To begin this 6th inning, Flames had a chance to cut the deficit to 1 and even tie the ball game in the last half inning. But after getting the first 2 batters of the inning on base, both were stranded in scoring position to end the inning. Vito Castronovo, the second baseman, to lead things off against Jake Griffin. And the first pitch is lined foul to the right side. Out of play for strike 1. The count is 0-1 to the Silversmiths second baseman. Second full inning of work out of the pen for Jake Griffin tonight, as the 0-1 is just outside for ball 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. In his first inning, he got Armitage to swing and miss at a third strike, as a 1-1 is just outside again, but a little closer. 2 balls and a strike. Drew served a walk to Andrew Roden, but he was caught stealing on a 1-3-6-3-4. Pitch is outside again, 3 balls and a strike. Roden did get caught in the pickle. That's why there are so many numbers to that caught stealing. 3-1 lined up the middle. It's through for base hit, and Castronovo has his first hit of the night. The leadoff man is on for the Silversmiths for the 4th time in 6 innings tonight. That brings up the center fielder Mickey Mullins, who has reached in both plate appearances on base hits. He's up with a runner on first and nobody out. Single in the second, single in the 4th. And he has a pair of stolen bases, too. First pitch just misses the outside corner. Ball 1, the count 1-0 to Mullins. And like we mentioned in the last half inning, that outside corner, if you're especially a right-handed pitcher against a right-handed batter tonight, that is tough to get with this home plate umpire. Throw over to first is not in time. Mullins on the year is batting .276. Tonight is his 9th game of the season. He is 8 of 29 at the plate coming into this one, now 10 of 31. As the 1-0 is hit well in the air to center field. Gordon has a read on it, though. Had to move a whole lot, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And back to first base is Castronovo. One away, here's Alex Stroshine, the catcher. Nobody warming up in either bullpen, so they're sticking with their pitchers right now. Jake Griffin on the bump for the Flames with a good outing so far through an inning and a third. First one to Stroshine, finds the outside corner with off speed. 0-1 the count. And Ryan Cooper, tonight's starter for the Silversmiths, looks to be returning to the bump for his 6th inning of work. He's only allowed 1 run to this point through 5 innings. Throw over to first from Griffin is not in time to get Castronovo. Middle infielders in double play depth for the Flames. A double play gets them out of the inning. Another throw over to first by Griffin is not in time to get Castronovo. On both of them, not even a tag applied by Stefan, as Castronovo is already back to the base. Here is the 0-1, and Stroshine hits it in the air to right center field. Both Matthews and Gordon after it. Gordon makes the catch. Back to first is Castronovo again. And on the second flyout in a row to center field, the Flames have 2 outs now in the 6th inning. That brings up the left fielder Reese Armitage. He's had a 1-for-2 day. He scored the first run of the game for the Silversmiths. That came back in the 3rd inning. He was the leadoff man, as the first one of him in this at-bat is inside. Ball 1, the count 1-0. He was the leadoff batter in the 3rd inning. He singled up the middle. Got second base, on a stolen base, and came around to score on an RBI hit from his brother Robert. Pitches outside for ball 2. The count 2 balls and no strikes to Armitage. Reese is now 15 of 46 at the plate on the year. and he has now scored 16 runs, which is the most on the team. Throw over to first is not in time once again to get Castronovo. Chris Turco is second on the team with 13 runs scored. As here's a 2-0. That just misses the outside corner. And now Reese Armitage has a 3-0 count against Jake Griffin with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Flames trail by 2. They're trying to keep the deficit right there. 3-0. Fastball just misses low. 4-pitch walk to Armitage, and runners are at first and second with 2 away. Back to the top of the order for the Silversmiths, which brings up the third baseman Nate Cormier, who is 1 for 3 on the night. Reached on an error to begin his night at the plate. It was a ground ball to the left side that kicked off the left leg of Mike Ruggiero. As the first pitch, breaking ball finds the outside corner. It's strike 1, the count is 0-1. Tough play for Ruggiero, and the ball took just a little lower of a hop than he expected, so it got his leg rather than his glove. Meanwhile, Cormier thought about going at that breaky pitch, but it was low and away, and he took it for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Cormier at the plate tonight. Also a single in the third inning. Came around to score the second run of the game. As the 1-1 fastball finds the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Cormier. Cormier on the year has driven in 3 runs. He has scored 13 now. 1-2. Swing and a miss at the breaking stuff. Griffin strikes him out and strands 2 more. Sherrill still in front of the Flames, however, 3-1 after 5.5. Back for the bottom of the 6th inning between the Silversmiths and the Flames. It's the heart of the Onondaga order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-4-5. Starting with Mike Netzel, the DH. Up to face Ryan Cooper, trying to crack his puzzle on the mound as the first pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1, the count 0-1. Flames did get a run in the 3rd inning, but stranded 2 in the 5th. With a chance to tie the ball game up as no one is lined right at the second baseman, Castronovo. So bad luck for Netzel is out number 1. So Netzel is now 0 for 3 on the night. And here's A.J. DiFilippo. And if there's one thing he doesn't want to do here is ground out to the first baseman, Chris Turco. And his first 2 plate appearances, he's done that both times. Unassisted ground out to Turco at first. And he steps in with 1 out and nobody on base against Cooper. First pitch finds the dirt for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Man warming up in the Sherrill bullpen as Cooper's pitch count starts to get higher and higher. He's now at 79 pitches as that one was up and away for ball one. The count is 1-0. Two and 0 rather, and DiFilippo fouls it away for strike one. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. And from the looks of it, warming up in the pen for Sherrill as the pitch just misses inside. Ball 3, the count 3 balls and 1 strike. It is Matt Krause, number 19, in the pen. As a 3-1 to DiFilippo is chopped towards first again. Turco plays it, but he throws to the bag for Cooper. And that is the second out of the inning on a 3-1 put out this time. But for the third at bat in a row to begin this game, DiFilippo grounds out to first. That brings up Colin Matthews, who is 0 for 2 on the night. The top 6 batters in the Flames order tonight have only recorded 1 hit. They are a combined 1 for 16 so far in this game tonight. As the first one of Matthews is over the plate for strike 1, the count 0-1. However, the bottom of the order, Adam Gordon, Jake Surratt, and Jake Evans are a combined 3 for 4. 0-1, chop foul to the left side. Strike 2, the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Gordon has 2 hits. Jake Surratt has an RBI hit. And Jake Evans has a sacrifice bunt. That was very productive in the 5th inning to move both runners in scoring position. As the 0-2 is grounded foul, and Mike Cordero brains his silky mitts out. Left-handed snag down the third base line. How about that from the head coach? Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Cooper works quick. Here's another 0-2, and the breaky ball is low and away and in the dirt. Ball 1, the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once Cooper gets that sign from Stroshine, he just picks up the ball and goes. As the 1-2 fastball gets Matthews looking on the outside corner. It's strike 3 and out number 3 here in the 6th. We're through 6, and the Flames still trail Sherrill by the score of 3-1.
Top of the 7th inning here at Onondaga Community College. The Sherrill Silversmiths still lead 3-1 over the Onondaga Flames. And it'll be 2-3-4 leading off for the Silversmiths this inning. As it's Robert Armitage leading off. The first pitch is a fastball way outside. And the count's 1-0. Brandon Ross alongside Eric Moon. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, it's 3-1 Sherrill Silversmiths. Here in the top of the 7th inning, a 1-0 count here to Robert Armitage as the second straight fastball misses outside, out of the reach of Surratt behind the plate. Griffin losing control of his control here. He can't really get a hold of that fastball, and the count's 2-0. The 2-0 pitch misses low. He's able to get that one over the plate, but can't quite peg it in between the knees and the letters, and the count's 3-0. The 3-0 pitch misses high for ball 4, so Armitage is going to walk to first, and he'll be the first base runner of the 7th.
Well, what I noticed with the second pitch especially is that Griffin has a whole lot of energy on the mound. He just has a little too much energy because with that second pitch, he threw that fastball so hard, Jake Surratt didn't even have time to get the glove hand towards the baseball. He just put his bare hand out in front of it. He didn't even make contact with the baseball, luckily, because that would have hurt a little bit.
We saw this kind of energy out of Keon Taylor against Hornell in his second inning out. He was able to get better control as the first pitch to Andrew Roden is cut on and missed for strike 1. Roden so far 0 for 1 on the evening. 2 walks and a fly out to left to his name so far.
And it looks like Jeff DiStefano's up in the bullpen.
The 0-1 pitch is a fastball, just catches the upper inside corner, and the count's 0-2.
Jake Griffin pitching well to this point, but his pitch count's getting up there for a reliever at least, so you would expect the Flames to bring in somebody later this inning if he gets in trouble or in the next inning.
Nobody out, runner on first as Andrew Roden calls time at home plate. 3-1 the Silversmiths lead here in the 7th. Andrew Roden trying to move the runner on first with nobody out. Griffin has an 0-2 count on Roden. The pitch is driven into left center field, way back going DiFilippo, but he's able to get under that one right in front of the track, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. So a deep first out here for the Silversmiths, but it's an out nonetheless. Runner can't advance. And now Chris Turco up for his 4th plate appearance.
Roden has shown that power the other way so far tonight, but he's hitting it to the wrong spot. Deepest part of straightaway left field, and he's flying out as a result.
Turco, the biggest fly of the night, out to the warning track on the first pitch he saw this evening. Since then, 2 walks as the pickoff attempts made over to first, nothing doing. Armitage leads off first, 1 away. In the top of the 7th, 3-1 the Silversmiths lead. Turco a big bat up for the Silversmiths, the chance to get runs in, and he cuts on and missed. So no 2 count here to Turco. He's behind. He's behind the count 0-1 rather. Pickoff attempt from Griffin. Nothing doing, unable to get Armitage. Griffin, the side armor, as always, working from the stretch against the righty Turco. The 0-1. Fastball just misses low of the plate. And the count's even up at a ball and a strike. Turco's a big threat, but he's never afraid to just get on base with the walk. The numbers aren't big. Only 8 recorded this season, but that's still plenty for a player like him. He's certainly a threat enough that you don't want to give him a pitch he wants to hit. 1-1 pitch is way outside. Griffin again loses control of that fastball, and Armitage moves up to second. So now a runner in scoring position with 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Well, getting back to the walks by Turco, he already has 2 tonight. So he's shown that plate discipline. He has 10 walks now on the year, which is second on the team, which is rather third on the team, just behind both Armitage brothers.
And now Turco with a runner on second base, a 2-1 count, 1 away in the top of the 7th, with the Silversmiths up 3-1, a chance to pad that lead here. The pitch fouled on towards the Silversmiths dugout, and now the count's evened up 2-2. Griffin now has the upper hand in this matchup.
And with the runner in scoring position already down 2 in this ball game, you just have to get Turco out here any way you can, even if the runner moves up to third.
2-2's the count. The pitch cut on and missed. Turco not one to strike out too much, his 17th of the year. And he'll head to the dugout now 2 away here in the 7th for Matt Fitzgerald.
And that's exactly what you want on the mound with a runner in scoring position and 1 away. You get the strikeout, you get that unproductive out, and the runner stays where he is.
The 3rd strikeout of the night for Jake Griffin. He'll face Matt Fitzgerald, who's 0 for 3. As Robert Armitage takes a big lead off of second base, guarded closely by Brian Hart. First pitch from Griffin is a fastball, just catches the outside corner. And Fitzgerald watches that one. He falls behind in the count 0-1. normal infield depth here. Hart playing close to protect the runner. As that pitch misses outside, counts evened up at a ball and a strike. Fitzgerald, the DH tonight, not productive. A strikeout and 2 flyouts to his name. Neither of them were able to cause too much advancement. And looks like a balk is called here after Robert Armitage does a fake steal to intimidate Jake Griffin. So now he's 90 feet away from scoring with 2 away.
I think he flinched. I think Griffin he definitely saw the runner Armitage at second base, and his left leg flinched because he thought about throwing it back to the second base bag to Brian Hart, but he decided not to, but his left leg moved before he decided not to.
1-1 pitch, a breaking ball just stays in on the outside corner. And the count's going to be 0-2 now. 1-2 now, rather. Armitage leading off third with 2 away. The 1-2 is fouled back towards the netting behind home plate. And the count's going to stay the same at 1-2. Griffin looking to finish his third inning of relief work here as the 1-2 pitch is fouled again behind home plate.
And this is going to be a battle through and through in this at-bat, especially after what Fitzgerald did in the last at-bat. More of the same, battling off some 2-strike pitches.
The 1-2, patient approach here, but he hacks at that one. A fastball misses up and away. Fitzgerald flips his bat all the way towards his dugout, very upset. But he's retired, and now the Flames able to avoid allowing a run that inning, heading into the bottom of the 7th, still trailing 3-1. Heading into the bottom half of the 7th inning here at OCC Stadium, the Flames still trailing 3-1 against the Sherrill Silversmiths. Runner got to second in the top half of the inning, but Jake Griffin on the mound able to prevent the runner from scoring. And now another chance for the Flames to cut back out to this lead. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for the Flames as Mike Stefan leads off. And Ryan Cooper still out there for his 7th inning of work. And Mike Stefan chops that one on the ground towards first. Just fair, says the first base umpire. And Turco takes it to the bag himself for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And that brings up Adam Gordon, the center fielder. While a lot of the Flames have struggled offensively so far today, Gordon one of the few bright spots. Halfway to the cycle with a single back in the 3rd and a double to lead off the 5th. Gordon, a very big throw on the base pass. Back in the 3rd, he singled, and then there was an errant throw to first by the second baseman, Vito Castronovo. And the first pitch misses low for ball 1. He got there in time, and then there was an errant throw. And on that errant throw, where there was a backup, he was able to make it to 3rd. The 1-0 pitch catches the outside corner on the fastball, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike. And so Gordon has scored the only run of the day so far for the Onondaga Flames. The 1-1 pitch, chopped foul down the first baseline, and now he's behind in the count 1-2. So no pitcher's been able to retire him yet. But Cooper, with his 3rd crack at him, could do it here with Gordon behind in the count 1-2. Flames still trailing 3-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-2 pitch to Gordon. Lined down the first base line, but foul. A hard rip from Gordon just got out in that front of that one just a bit, and that goes foul down the first base line. Still 1-2.
That bottom of the order is swinging well for the Flames tonight. The Flames have to look to them to provide the offense with the top of the and middle of the order sputtering a bit tonight.
Gordon usually hitting in the top 3 spots in the order, but now hitting 7th tonight. As the 1-2 pitch is a fastball, called strike 3. A very late call from the home plate umpire, and Gordon goes back to the dugout visibly upset. And now it's 2 away here on the Flames with Jake Zarat coming up for his 3rd plate appearance.
Just a great pitch from Cooper on that outside corner. It's unhittable, and all Gordon could do with it if he swings at it is foul it off.
Very successful night for Cooper out there on the mound. His 7th inning of work, only 1 run allowed, but that was only his 4th strikeout. As that'll bring up Jake Zarat, who has also not yet been retired. The first pitch to him, a fastball, catches the outside corner for strike 1. Zarat singled back in the 3rd inning, and then the 5th inning he got hit by a pitch. There was a discussion over whether it actually hit him, as there was actually a debate over whether it would hit the bat. But the home plate umpire eventually ruled it hit him on the forearm, and he walked over to first, and now there's a quick mound meeting between Stroshine and Cooper, and now Stroshine heads behind the plate again. And baseball play will resume. An 0-1 count here to Jake Zarat. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. The Flames still trailing 3-1. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball, just misses outside, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike.
Well, there's a big difference between Cooper and Gronin, a big similarity, as you talked about earlier. Gunnar Gronin, Ryan Cooper, similar pitchers.
Cut on and miss. And now Zarat quickly behind in the count 1-2.
And so Cooper, unlike Gunnar, works very, very quickly. Quickest pace we've seen so far this year. But like Gunnar, he pitches to contact. 4 strikeouts is actually a little more than we expected from him.
The 1-2 pitch is fouled high towards the trees, out of play, and the count's going to stay at a ball and 2 strikes. And that's what's been interesting about Ryan Cooper. Maybe that's the intangible so far, because it seems to the team so far that there's something about Ryan Cooper that they just can't get a handle of. And the 1-2 pitch misses outside a breaking ball, and it looks like Ryan Cooper hurt himself on that pitch. He's not looking healthy, and his head coach is going to come out to talk.
He landed on the foot wrong, and it did not look all that great, but he got up right away. He'll probably throw a couple pitches or 2 to see if he's okay, and after they adjust the mound a little bit, because I think Cooper has a bit of a problem, needed to adjust the mound a little bit so that his foot plants the way he'd like it to instead of falling off the rubber again.
Perhaps just a little bit of a big dirt hole there on the mound. And there is it looks like there might be a Silversmith warming up in the bullpen just in case. So now the count's 2-2 on Jake Zarat heading into the batter's box. Cooper deals the 2-2. Lipped up the middle, a diving attempt by Castronovo, but he won't get there, and Zarat's on with a 2-out base hit.
Zarat's been the guy tonight. He's hit the ball well, he's squared it up at the plate, and that's another single for him.
Now stands as the only Flames hitter not yet to be retired by Ryan Cooper, and that brings up Jake Evans, who last time he put the Flames in a great situation with a sacrifice bunt. There were runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 away, but the Flames unable to capitalize. So Zarat leads off of first 2 away, Flames down 3-1. That first pitch is a fastball, just catches the outside corner. Evans wanted that one called ball, but he won't get what he wants, and the count's 0-1.
Cooper's still hitting the corners, and this next pitch will be number 100 for him tonight.
Certainly a workhorse so far for the Silversmiths. One of the better pitchers showing it so far, as a pickoff attempt's no good. Zarat able to get back in there easy, even if he did have to get his jersey a little bit dirty. Cooper out of the stretch. He deals the 0-1. Fastball misses low, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike here.
There isn't anything particularly noticeable about Cooper that stands out besides his pace, but he's pitching with mojo tonight, and that's been working out for him.
It's sort of the attitude he's taken, or maybe it is just the pace you were mentioning, the quick pace. A lot of the consensus on these Flames players so far is that Ryan Cooper is not that talented a pitcher. He doesn't throw too hard. His stuff doesn't break too fast. As the 1-1 pitch misses in the dirt, and a check swing doesn't go around, so the count's 2-1 here to Jake Evans.
He just has that it factor on the mound tonight. He's able to get hitters out, and I think that pace helps him a lot because a quicker pace catches more hitters off guard than a slower one.
And sometimes it's just luck of the draw. A lot of hard liners and hard groundouts right to fielders so far tonight as the 2-1 pitch gets missing outside. And now 3 balls and 1 strike here to Jake Evans. A hitter's count here for the number 9 hitter.
And that emphasizes the importance of quality at bats, and we're seeing one right here.
The 3-1 from Cooper. Fastball catches the outside corner. And Jake Evans going to chat with the home plate umpire about that one. He did not like that. And so now the count's full at 3-2.
No, I think he was chatting with the home plate umpire. Yes, it might have been about the call, but the home plate umpire punched him out. But that was only strike 2.
I thought that was a little bit unusual, too. He may have just been unaware of the actual strikes, and they confirmed with the second place umpire, who confirmed there are only 2 strikes, and the payoff runner goes. That one misses inside, ball 4, so Jake Evans draws a 2-out walk, and that brings the runner in scoring position with 2 away, and now Evans on first marks the tying run.
And here comes a pinch hitter, Jack Cherno, making an appearance now for the Flames. First time since arriving with the team tonight that he hasn't gotten the start. First night off for him, and now he's making a pinch hit appearance here in the 7th inning.
And Cherno certainly not a slacker at the plate, hitting .350 entering today. Another key factor, only 5 RBIs, but he scored 14 runs on his own, so if you get him on base, if he can get on base, there's a high shot he could come around to score. He's a threat out there.
And I think this is a good move because the top 6 guys in the order tonight are 1 for 18. You get a new face in there, maybe you get something out of that top 6.
And so far from Michael Sherrill, his final score on the night is going to be 0 for 3. A ground out to short, a batter's interference call out, and a swinging strikeout. And Ryan Cooper is done for the night. And so he'll be done after 6 2/3 innings of work. And we'll tell you who his replacement is when we come back here on Team Line. So a bit of a misunderstanding here, as it looked like the coach was signaling for the bullpen, but it looks like Ryan Cooper able to send head coach Tim Bailey back to the dugout and leave him out there. And so he'll try to finish the inning himself as he'll face the left-handed Cherno coming into pinch hit, and the first pitch is a ball, misses in the dirt.
And what you need right now if you're the Flames is another quality at bat. No guy has more quality at bats than Jack Cherno.
You need quality at bat, but you need a result. A 6-pitch at bat or a 7 or 8-pitch at bat is no good if the inning ends. So runners on first and second now, 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. The Flames still trailing 3-1. The 1-0 pitch misses low on the fastball. And now Cherno ahead in the count 2-0. He has a real hitter's advantage here, known for being able to work his counts.
And he also has an advantage in a way of coming off the bench. He's fresh against a pitcher who has now over 100 pitches.
The 2-0 is a fastball that misses outside. So now 3-0 here to Jack Cherno. And he's in danger of walking the bases loaded. And Brian Hart, the only player in the top 6 of the order with a hit tonight, awaits on deck the 3-0. Fastball misses low for ball 4. And Ryan Cooper walks the bases loaded. Here in the bottom of the 7th, now 2 away, bases loaded for Brian Hart. And Stroshine's going to go out to talk to Cooper. It looks like Cooper was really insistent, and now it looks like Tim Bailey will finally signal for a replacement, and now that's just another possible early run should this inning go south. And we'll tell you who the replacement is for Ryan Cooper when we come back here on Team Line. New pitcher on the mound for the Sherrill Silversmiths is Adam Riceberg, as Ryan Cooper takes a seat after 6 2/3 innings of work. Riceberg, a lefty out of South Virginia University. 7 appearances so far this season, 1 game started as he faces Brian Hart, and the first pitch is a fastball that catches the outside corner for strike 1. Riceberg, 14 innings pitched this season, an ERA just a hair over 5. The 0-1, cut on and missed. And so now Hart quickly behind in the count with the bases loaded here, 0-2.
That's an unhittable pitch, one that I would have taken for a strike rather than swinging and missing at it. However, taking a cut is usually better than just taking a random strike and you're down 0-2.
Jake Zarot leads off third, Jake Evans off second, Jack Cherno off of first. 2 away, down 3-1, the pitch. Foul back towards the trees behind home plate, so Brian Hart able to stay alive here.
I was looking where Stroshine was setting up, and he was well outside, so Riceberg's fastball got way too much of the play, a lot more than he wanted.
The 0-2 is driven between third and short for a base hit. Zarot comes around to score. Jake Evans is going to get held up at third and almost tagged out trying to go back by Cormier. But still, it's a 2-out single and an RBI for Brian Hart, and this lead is cut in half. The Flames now only trail 3-2.
Hart hit it a little too hard that time because Evans, I was noticing off the bag, he took a huge lead off second base. He was halfway to third, and I was expecting him to score on that hit, but he took a big turn. Mike Cordero put up the stop sign. Base is still loaded.
And now the DH Mike Netzel up with 2 away, and the base is still loaded as that pitch misses high and outside for ball 1. Brian Hart really put a rip into that one. Maybe these Flames are finally starting to figure out one of the pitchers tonight. Adam Riceberg deals the 1-0, and that misses up and away again. So now it's 2-0 here to Mike Netzel, the designated hitter.
Tell you what, he's got a little more fuel. He had a hot dog since his last at bat.
This is true. The throw down is going to get off of Brian Hart at first base. It's going to roll to the outfield, and Jake Evans is going to come around to score. A bad throw by Alex Stroshine goes off of Brian Hart, rolls into the outfield, and Jake Evans scores the tying run.
That's just not a smart play by Stroshine. He was a little too aggressive, threw it down to first base, nobody was there, and luckily for the Flames, it ticked off the runner Hart and into right field.
And the 2-0 pitch misses high for ball 3. And so now it's a 3-1 count here to Mike Netzel. Runners on first and third. The run to take the lead 90 feet away. Runner goes to second. That pitch is fouled back towards the net behind home plate. And so that count is full at 3-2 here to Mike Netzel. And you better think that Brian Hart on first is going to go here.
Well, I look for Netzel potentially to go the other way with the ground ball. Turco still shaded towards the bag at Brian Hart. A little bigger hole on the right side.
Hart goes, Riceberg, the payoff misses outside ball 4, so the bases are again loaded up with 2 away, and now a chance to blow this thing open for A.J. DiFilippo. He came in clutch against the Hornell Dodgers a few nights ago, really getting the Flames back into that one.
This is the wrong guy to face with the bases loaded in a tie ball game late if you're the Sherrill Silversmiths.
And again, coming out to talk with the pitcher is the head coach, Tim Bailey. Looks like Adam Riceberg is going to get a talking to after allowing 2 runs here that eventually tied up this ball game. Now, the run to take the lead on third base and 2 more behind them also on the base paths.
Well, this is a situational visit because, of course, it's a big spot. Bases loaded 2 away. 2 runs home also already for Onondaga this inning. And you have a lefty-lefty matchup. First one for Riceberg tonight against the lefty DiFilippo, but of course, as we've seen from AJ, he is one excellent hitter, and when he's able to hit a baseball, he can pound it.
Looking to change his fortunes from today so far. 3 groundouts to first base is his total line score on the day, and a chance to change that here. Riceberg deals the first pitch. It gets away from Stroshine behind the plate, and the run to take the lead comes home. Jack Cherno scores at the perfect timing with fireworks out in left field, and now the Flames have a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, the fireworks just started going off now for obvious reasons. How fitting. The run scores. Now the Flames have the lead, and DiFilippo still has a chance to extend that lead.
Timing impeccable, and now a 1-0 count with 2 runners in scoring position for DiFilippo. He grounds that one off the middle, goes off the mound, fielded at short by Armitage, fires to first for the final out, but not until the Flames take the lead on a series of events here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they'll take that lead into the 8th. Top of the 8th here at OCC Stadium. The Flames reversed their fortunes in the bottom half of last inning, down 3-1. They put up a 3 spot in the bottom half to take a 4-3 lead as a new pitcher comes out for the Flames in Jeff DiStefano, and a couple of changes in the field after Jack Cherno came in to pinch hit. He'll stay in the game and go to second base, and Brian Hart moves over to third. So Mike Ruggiero is done for the day after getting pinch hit for. And leading off the top of the 8th here for the Silversmiths is going to be Vito Castronovo. Castronovo 1 for 2 on the night. First pitch from DiStefano is going to get lined into right field. Running under that one is Colin Matthews. He'll make the catch for an easy first pitch, first out. One gone, that brings up Mickey Mullins. Mullins so far 2 for 3. A lot tougher out, 2 singles and a deep fly out to center back in the 6th. So lefty-righty matchup here. Mullins crowds the plate. DiStefano is always working from the stretch. The first pitch is a breaking ball that just can't catch the plate. And now he's behind in the count 1-0. DiStefano 4 appearances so far this season. Only 1 run allowed while he's been on the mound, but none of them have been earned as the 1-0 pitch catches the edge of the strike zone for strike 1. Count's going to be evened up at a ball and a strike. One away in the top of the 8th. Flames leading 4-3. The 1-1 pitch misses inside. Mullins has to dance out of the way of that one. And now Mullins has a better hitter's count here, 2-1. DiStefano out of Canisius College, one of the few players that came in late this season as his team competed in the College World Series NCAA tournament. As that one gets flied out to right field. Again under that one is Colin Matthews. 2 flyouts to Colin Matthews and 2 away here in the 8th inning. And that brings up Alex Stroshine. Stroshine a lot worse fortunes than the first 2 batters of this inning. 0 for 3 still on the night. A strikeout, a groundout, and a flyout. And after coming up to the plate, Stroshine is going to get sent back to the dugout. as a pinch hitter is coming in. And the pinch hitter is number 19, Matt Krause, out of American International College, one of the many teammates of Jimmy Flahive on the Flames, who was toying with him during the shenanigans back when the game was rained out on Monday. And so now the righty Krause in to face the lefty DiStefano. The first pitch is a breaking ball that just can't quite cut into the zone. And the count's 1-0. Krause so far 17 games played, hitting just under 260. As DiStefano deals the pitch. Just catches the inside part of the plate, counts even up at a ball and a strike. So 1-1 count here with 2 away. Flames still maintaining a 4-3 lead. So far for DiStefano, it's just been 2 fly balls and 2 outs. And a chance to end the inning here. The 1-1 is a fastball missing inside. And now DiStefano in a little bit of a lesser count here, 2-1. Krause also a power threat, 3 doubles on the year, also a home run to his name, so he can go yard. The 2-1 pitch is a fastball missing outside. And now a 3-1 count here to Krause. Krause with a great hitter's count. DiStefano gets set quickly and deals the 3-1. Fastball misses outside for ball 4, so a base runner here with 2 away for the Silversmiths, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Reese Armitage. Armitage so far 1 for 2. He walked his last time up, otherwise a single coming around to score, and a strikeout back in the 4th inning. And so now Krause takes his lead off of first base. And a lefty-lefty matchup going on between the pitcher and batter. Armitage here. The pitch is going to get fouled down the left field line. Quite hard that was made. And the count's 0-1. Armitage also has a stolen base to himself on the night. And with Krause in on first base, let's see what he can do on the base paths. DiStefano looks over to first and deals the pitch. And that's going to be a called strike, and so now it's 2 strikes here on Reese Armitage. So Armitage behind the count 0-2 here. With Krause leading off of first base, 2 away in the top of the 8th. Flames with a 4-3 lead. The pitch. Breaking ball just gets out of the zone. Cut a little too hard for DiStefano there on the mound. Counts 1-2. Lefty hitter, but no shift. They're anticipating a ball to any part of the field here. No doubles defense with only a 1-run lead. A pickoff attempt over at first, but Krause doesn't even have to get dirty. They're able to get back in there standing. Play resumes here, and DiStefano gets set on the mound from the stretch. And the 1-2. Cut on and missed. Armitage gets out in front of that one, and that will retire the side. After 7.5 innings of play here, the Flames still have a 4-3 lead here at OCC Stadium. Bottom of the 8th here, Flames still with a 4-3 lead. Able to strand the base runner on first in the top half. Riceburg out for his second inning of work, and Colin Matthews will lead off here for the Flames. First pitch to Matthews, lined foul down the first baseline, but very close. And he's behind the count 0-1. So one defensive change here for the Sherrill Silversmiths as Anthony Gazzo in to catch after Stroshine got pinch hit for in the top half. The 0-1 pitch misses inside, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike. So far for Matthews, not the best day, 0 for 3. A pop out to first, a ground out to short, and a strikeout looking back in the 6th. The 1-1, grounded over to third. A diving attempt by Cormier is no good, and Matthews gets on with his first hit of the ball game with nobody out. So a single to start off the inning. That'll bring up Mike Stefan. Like Matthews entering this at bat, 0 for 3. Ground out to short, a swinging, a called strikeout, and a ground out to first. That was taken to the bag by Turco unassisted. Matthews leads off of first. Matthews hasn't stolen a base yet this season. First pitch to Stefan as a fastball just catches the bottom half of the plate. And Stefan behind the count 0-1. Fireworks continue to go off in left center field here at OCC Stadium. Completely unrelated across the lake, but certainly a sight to see. They coincided right with the Flames retaking the lead. The 0-1. Fastball misses high and outside. Counts evened up at a ball and a strike. So 1-1 count here to Stefan. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Flames still with a 4-3 lead. A runner on first with a chance to pad that here. The 1-1 pitch is a fastball inside. Stefan turns away from that one, and the count's 2-1. Stefan, a switch hitter, batting righty against the left-handed Riceburg. The 2-1. Cut on and missed. He got out in front of that one, and the count's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now Riceburg in an advantageous position on the mound. Really a pitcher's count with the 2-2. Matthews a growing lead off of first base. Riceburg looks over, deals the 2-2, grounded over to third, weird hop, fielded, throws to second. Way onto first, but not in time. Takes him slightly off the bag. A rough slide into second. Matthews is called out. So one away here, and looks like at second base, Vito Castronovo is down. Coaching staff and the rest of the players on the field going out to take a look at Castronovo out there, make sure he's okay. That was a rough slide from Matthews into second base. Not a dirty one. It looks like Castronovo was taking a step toward first and got caught in the middle of Matthews' slide. So the runners are taking off the base paths to talk with Cordero. And so now a discussion here between head coach Tim Bailey and the base umpire. Looks like it may be a discussion between Bailey as to whether that was maybe interference on behalf of Matthews, but it doesn't look like that will be the call. Castronovo looks like he will stay out there at second base. He looks roughed up, but he is okay walking it off. And so Mike Stefan will return to first base after reaching on the fielder's choice. And that'll be one away here for Adam Gordon, who's halfway to the cycle in the 8th inning, a single and a double to his name. So now it's Stefan leading off of first base. Riceburg looks over, deals the first pitch. Fastball just catches the outside corner. And the count's 0-1 here to Gordon. Time is called by the pitcher Riceburg, and there will be a mound meeting quickly between him and Anthony Gazzo. So now the Flames have a runner on first with one away here in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading 4-3. A chance to get some more cushion here before heading to the top of the 9th. Counts 0-1 to Gordon, the pitch. Fastball again catches the outside corner just barely. And now Gordon behind in the count 0-2. Middle infield not playing too close to second base, not really worried about the steal from Stefan. Stefan fakes the pitch, ripped down the right field line. That'll drop for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall in the right field corner. Gordon goes for second. He's going for 3. Stefan's making his way for home. He's going to score. The throw to third is not in time, and Adam Gordon gets on with a triple. Now 3/4 of the way to the cycle here in the 8th inning. However, if the Flames hold this lead, he's probably not going to get a chance to get that 4th part of the cycle, the home run. But still, a single, a double, and a triple for him on the night. Very impressive on his part. Now the Flames have a 5-3 lead in the 8th. And looks like the head coach, Tim Bailey, is going to go out to talk to Riceburg again. Don't see any action in the bullpen, but it is going to be a pitching replacement, and we'll step aside and let you know who's coming in when we come back here on Team Line. Ryland Baker comes in for the Sherrill Silversmiths with one away here and a runner on third after the Flames put another run on the board on the Adam Gordon RBI triple. And so now Jake Surratt will come up for his 4th plate appearance. He struggled entering this game, but so far a stellar performance. 2 for 2, 2 singles and a hit by pitch. He shows bunt, lays it down the first base line. It just rolls foul. And a great attempt to get Adam Gordon home there, but instead is going to be an 0-1 count. And Gordon's going to have to go back to third. The thing with the turf field here at OCC Stadium is that when you lay it down, it's going to be very predictable. It's not going to deviate off its path. There's no dirt rocks it's going to bounce off of. It's not going to take a weird hop. It's always going to go on path. And Jake Surratt's going to step back into the box with an 0-1 count. Gordon leading off of third. The run to double the lead 90 feet away. As that pitch is a fastball, catches the plate. And now Surratt behind in the count 0-2. Flames up 5-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. One away with Adam Gordon leading off of third, and 0-2 count here to Surratt. Middle infield and quarter infield playing in, trying to prevent that final run on base from scoring. Baker gets set. The 0-2 is driven deep into right center field, and that's going to drop for an extra base hit. Gordon scores, and Zerat's making his way for 2, and he's going to round second and go for 3. He's going to get in there safely and slides in with a triple. Back-to-back triples here for the Onondaga Flames, not something you see every day, as that now extends the Flames' lead to 6-3. Zerat exploding this game, entered today's matchup with a very low batting average. In fact, 111 was his line, and now goes 3 for 3 so far today, and that'll bring up the 9-hitter Jake Evans, who is still looking for his first hit of the ball game. He's got a walk, a sack, bunt, and a flyout to his name. 1 away, runner on third. First pitch to Evans is a fastball missing outside. Counts 1-0. And the rest of the infield still playing in. Don't want to allow any more runs. They already have a 3-run hurdle to overcome in the top of the 9th. If that becomes 4 or 5, it might become untenable. The 0-1 pitch misses. And it counts evened up at a ball and a strike here to Jake Evans. You expect no doubles defense here from the outfield, but instead all of them playing pretty far in their respective positions. 1-1 to Evans. Fastball misses inside. He has to jump out of the way of that one. And now Evans with a better hitter's count here at 2-1. Evans just hasn't been able to make his way on base tonight. He had a flyout, but it was a hard flyout. A sac bunt brought 2 runners into scoring position. The team wasn't able to capitalize. Another chance for him to make an impact here as the 2-1 pitch catches the strike zone, now counts even at 2-2. Correction here, the count's 3-1. One of the strikes apparently was a ball. That's my bad. I will take full responsibility. 3-1 pitch here to Evans. He shows bunt, lays it down, but it goes foul. He just gets the tip of the bat on it, but it rolls back towards the catcher. And now the count's full at 3-2. But regardless, even if Evans gets knocked out here, there's only 1 away so far in this inning. Flames with a 6-3 lead. Evans gets his sign from Coach Cordero over at third base, steps back into the box. Whole infield playing in, Chris Turco playing even further in on the infield grass. The pitch is cut foul off the catcher's foot, and the count stays full at 3-2. Evans really working for his pitch here. So over at third base, Cormier was playing pretty far in, but he's going to back up. But Chris Turco still playing a few feet in on the infield grass over down the first baseline. And the 3-2 pitch misses inside for ball 4. So another base runner for the Flames with 1 away. However, the Silversmiths do have the advantage of the double play option. But now Jack Cherno with a chance here. He pinch hit back in the 7th. Ended up walking and scored in the 7th. He was credited with scoring the run to give the Flames the lead. And now a chance to do some more damage here. Runners on first and third, 1 away in the bottom of the 8th with a 3-run lead. The first pitch is a called strike, and Cherno's behind in the count 0-1. So it's Jake Zerat on third base, Jake Evans on first. Evans with a growing lead over there. Baker gets set, deals the 0-1. Is driven foul down the left field line over in the direction of the Flames bullpen. And Cherno now really behind in the count 0-2. But only 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Flames still with a 3-run lead. Cherno gets set and ready. The 0-2 is going to get popped into shallow left field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Zerat comes around to score. Evans moves up to second, and it's an RBI single for Jack Cherno. Now 1 for 1 on the night, and another run for the Flames as they take a 7-3 lead now. This inning just continues to get out of hand for the Silversmiths, as they've allowed 3 more runs, and the lead's getting further and further out of control for the Silversmiths to get able to handle when it comes to the top of the 9th, and they're down to their final outs. And that'll bring up Brian Hart. Baker deals the first pitch, a fastball in the dirt outside. And Hart ahead of the count 1-0 with 2 runners on, 1 away, and the Flames with a 7-3 lead now. Evans leading off of second, and Cherno leading off of first. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball missing high, and 2 straight balls here to start the at-bat to Brian Hart. Hart 2 for 4 on the night, a pair of flyouts to right, and a pair of singles so far. More chance to inflict damage here as the 2-0 pitch is fouled back towards the netting behind home plate. 2-1 count here to Brian Hart. The entire defensive positioning is normal. Everyone's playing back. And the outfield in regular positioning. No doubles defense here, just trying to get outs. Ryland Baker working out of the stretch on the mound. The righty deals the 2-1. Cut on and missed. That'll get past Brian Hart on the foul tip. And it's even 2-2 now. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Brian Hart, but only 1 away, with the Flames now with a 7-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Evans off second, Cherno off of first. Castronovo playing close over at second. The 2-2 pitch is a ball in the dirt. And then Gazzo has to get in the splits to save that one. And now a full count here to Brian Hart. Far from the first full count that a Sherrill Silversmiths pitcher has found himself in this inning. Flames working quality at bat so far. The payoff pitch is popped up into shallow right field. Turco, Castronovo, and Roden converge. Roden makes the catch for the second out. And no tag attempt from Evans over at second. So now 2 away with runners on first and second for Mike Netzel. So 3 flyouts to right for the day for Brian Hart. Mike Netzel with his chance to get his first hit of the ball game. A lack of success so far. 0 for 3. Last time up he walked, and the time before that a hard liner out to Castronovo at second. Netzel had a tough time against Cooper, but now with a chance against a fresh arm. And both runners retreat as stepping off the mound is Ryland Baker. Baker gets ready on the mound, working out of the stretch with 2 runners on. The first pitch to Netzel. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. Netzel lays it off, and the count's 0-1. What a swing of events so far for the Flames today. They found themselves down 2-0 very early on, and then down 3-1. And in just the last 2 innings have worked their way well back into this ball game, as the 0-1 pitch is in the dirt, and both runners advance. So now Evans sits on third, and Cherno on second, with 2 away here in the 8th. And Netzel with a single here could drive home 2 more runs and extend the lead to 6. Infield shifted slightly over to the left here. Castronovo playing very close to second base. The 1-1 misses inside. Gazzo has a tough time keeping that one in front of him, then the count's 2-1. Netzel, the 3-hitter, AJ DiFilippo waits on deck. 2 away here, 7-3 to Flames lead in the 8th. The pitch is called a strike on the outside corner, and the count's knotted up at 2 here for Mike Netzel. So 2's all around here, 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count here to Mike Netzel in the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-3 the Flames lead, a chance to extend that here. The pitch is driven down the right field line, foul over into the Silversmiths bullpen. So Netzel stays alive to see another pitch. Netzel was telling me that he didn't know what it was about Ryan Cooper. He just couldn't get good wood on the ball, and neither could a lot of his teammates. But now that he's out of the game, his teammates are lighting up the pitching as that one, a fastball way outside, but he gives chase and gets retired for the final out of the 8th. But the Flames able to put up a 3-spot here again in the top of the 8th, and now heading into the top of the 9th with a chance to retire the game. The Flames have a 7-3 lead here at OCC Stadium.
Three outs to get for the Flames after scoring 6 runs in the last 2 innings. They have gone from down 3-1 to up 7-3. And Keon Taylor, who was getting up in the bullpen in the last inning, is on the mound now for the Flames. He's the 4th pitcher of the night, and he faces Nate Cormier to begin the 9th inning. First pitch fastball just misses for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Taylor replaces Jeff DiStefano, who pitched a scoreless 8th inning. He walked 1, but he struck out 1. As the 1-0 to Cormier is in there for strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. One defensive change to note at first base, now taking the place of Mike Stefan, is Corbin Paxton for the 9th inning. Taylor has the sign ready to deal the 1-1. Here it is. And the fastball gets away from Surratt to the backstop. It's ball 2. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. But you know, with this kind of offense that you're facing tonight, we haven't seen much of it. But the Silversmiths can wake up at any point in this game, and they need to wake up now. 2-1, swung on missed for strike 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Obviously, if you're a Flames fan, you're hoping they don't wake up. But they can at any moment, and Andrew Roden is due up 3rd. Chris Churko due up 4th this inning. 2-2 from Taylor. Fastball is chopped foul to the right side. Snagged by the first base coach with that left silky mitt. And the count remains 2 balls to 2 strikes.
Yeah, this isn't the same Keon Taylor we saw out of Hornell, but he's still trying to assert his presence out there on the mound.
He's Brandon Ross. I'm Eric Moon with you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, especially if you've been here since the first pitch. As here comes the 2-2 from Taylor, and the fastball swung on missed. It's in the dirt. Surratt throws down to first. It's in time to Corbin Paxton for the first out of the 9th inning. A strikeout and a putout. And the Flames are 2 outs away from victory tonight. Here's Robert Armitage, the shortstop. He is 1 for 3 on the night. And what's at stake is in this game is second place in the Eastern Division, which seems pretty distant from the Syracuse Spartans now, as these teams are separated by half a game. First pitch to Armitage is up and in. Ball one, the count is 1-0. Spartans on a roll. They're now 12-5 on the year. They lead the Silversmiths by 3 games. Sherrill is 9-8 entering this one, and Onondaga is 8-8. As here comes the 1-0. Armitage swings and misses at a little breaking stuff. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Flames win. They're 9-8, and they're 3 back of the Spartans. Silversmiths 3.5. They basically switch spots. If the Silversmiths find a way to come back in this one, they're 10-8 and 2.5 back of the Spartans. Flames 8-9. They're tied with the Rome Generals for third place. 1-1. Fastball over the plate for strike 2. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Armitage.
And the Rome Generals in action with the Syracuse Saltcats right now, leading 9-5 in the bottom of the 8th. So if the Rome Generals win and the Sherrill Silversmiths lose, they'll be in a tie for third place, and the Onondaga Flames will take second.
1-2. Low and in on Armitage. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Actually, Rome will be half a game back of Sherrill. Rather, you are correct that they would be tied at 9-9. The Flames would be 9-8. Still in the early first half of the season, so things are still tight with as the 2-2 is a pitch up and in, forcing Armitage to lean back a little bit. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So besides the Spartans, from second to the bottom of the division, that's a 3-game difference no matter what happens in this game tonight. As the payoff is chopped foul behind home plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes still to Robert Armitage.
A lot of summer left to go here, but right now the Syracuse Spartans asserting themselves as a dominant force. They started off the season slow last year and then kicked it into overdrive in the playoffs. We were told by the Spartans broadcaster Christian de Guzman that we could expect this from the Spartans team at any time, and they're seeming to be hot out the gate early on.
Payoff from Keon is a swing and a fly ball down the right side, going after his Colin Matthews, but it's just out of his reach, and it drops foul. Count still full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Spartans are now tied with the Wellsville Nitros for the best record in the NYCBO at 12-5. And last year they did so well, they won the Eastern Division. However, they didn't have enough to win the whole thing as they lost the Hornell Dodgers in the maximum 3 games in the best of 3 series. Hornell Dodgers, of course, this year, a little different story for them. They're 5-10, worst record in the league. Payoff is up on Armitage. He had to duck and cover. It's ball 4, and the Silversmiths get a base runner here in the 9th. 1 out, 1 on, and now Andrew Roden, the right fielder. Roden is 0 for 1 tonight. 4 plate appearances, only 1 official at-bat. That's because he has drawn a pair of walks, and he has an RBI sacrifice fly way back in the 3rd inning. That made it 2-0 Sherrill at the time. First one to Roden is a fastball that just misses the lower third of the zone. Ball 1, the count is 1-0. Keon on the mound coming into this one. Pitched 8 innings. This is his 7th appearance of the year. As the 1-0 fastball just misses the lower third again. Looked like the very same pitch or a very similar one. 2 balls and no strikes. 8 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, and he has struck out 9. Keon 1-0 on the year with a pair of saves. Roden fouls one to the netting. It's strike 1. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. And it looked like on its way to the netting, it got a piece of Jake Zerrott.
Also worth noting, with 2 saves on the year, Keon not in position for the save here as the Flames lead is more than 3 runs.
If another base runner gets on, he actually is in position for the save despite the 4-run lead.
That's good to know.
As Roden steps in. Once again, Zerrott's still talking with the home plate umpire. And he is okay and good to go. Home plate umpire was just making sure. And Roden is ready to go. Keon Taylor has the sign, checks on the runner at first. And here's the 2-1. Fastball just misses the outside corner. It's ball 3, the count now, 3 balls and 1 strike. Roden is now at 7 walks total on the year. This is his 15th game of the season, so about a little less than half a walk per game, as the 3-1 is chopped foul to the left side towards the Flame dugout. Count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Second batter in a row to run the count full. Before that, the leadoff man, Nate Cormier, worked a 2-2 count before striking out. Here's the payoff, and the fastball gets him looking on the outside corner. Deliberate call from the home plate umpire on strike 3 as always. And Roden's down looking, and the Silversmiths are down to their final out tonight.
Well, Chris Turco coming up to bat for the Silversmiths, and if you want a guy to jumpstart something, this is the guy you want. But it's obviously still a tough position for Sherrill here.
The tie-in run is still due up third at the moment, still in the dugout as Turco takes a big swing and a miss. At strike 1, the count is 0-1. Turco without a hit tonight. 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. He and Cyrus Grimes, the 2 leading hitters in the Cowpkin League, neither of them have a hit. Grimes for Wellsville on Wednesday night did not record a hit, but he reached base twice. He went 0 for 4. As Turco swings and misses again at strike 2. And Sherrill is down to their final strike tonight. First meeting of 7 between the Flames and the Silversmiths this year, as the Flames look to draw first blood in this Eastern Division matchup. 0-2. Fastball's inside on Turco. Ball 1, the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it won't be long before these two teams meet again. Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. It's the Silversmiths and Flames right back here at Onondaga Community College. 1-2 from Taylor. Swung on a miss on the fastball. Turco goes down swinging, and that will retire the side of the 9th. Flames win it 7-3 on the strength of 2 3-run innings in the 7th and 8th. As the Flames pick up a pretty big 7-3 win over the Silversmiths to take second place.
Huge win to take second place, especially because of the playoff rules. You have to be at least in the top 3 to get in a good spot here. And now the Flames asserting themselves in second place here in a very tight spot for those 2 spots. And now a great chance to hold on to their lead and maybe make some wave with the Spartans as they take on Syracuse tomorrow. They could get further into first place with a win if the game happens, of course, as the weather is projected to be quite awful.
Well, we'll keep you updated on the weather. We will know pretty early in the day, at least 2 hours before first pitch tomorrow against the Spartans, if the game will be played or not. The Flames will take on the Syracuse Spartans at 5:15 p.m. from Hopkins Road Park. It's the third meeting between the Flames and the Spartans on the year. We'll be on the air for that one. Morgan Chapman and I will be in Syracuse. Brandon Ross will be on assignment. However, if that game gets postponed, Brandon and Morgan have you covered for the Flames and the Saltcats right back here at OCC on Sunday at 5.
And just to note for tomorrow, it is a 5:15 game, but we actually will know by about 1:30 whether we are going to be playing or not. So stay tuned to the Flames on Twitter at FlamesNYCBL, or keep a look at our Facebook to stay updated in regards to the status of that game.
Big night for the Flames. Meanwhile, tonight, as they defeat the division rival Sherrill Silversmiths, they trailed 3-1 at some point, but as the kids say these days, the Silversmiths blew a 3-1 lead, but it was less that and more the Flames putting together some runs in the 7th and 8th innings. 3 runs in each of those innings. They win pretty easily on the scoreboard, 7-3.
Very big innings, of course. The big inning has been the detriment, but also the savior to the Flames so far this season. They've lost big when allowing a lot of innings to pile on, but getting those big innings back when coming from behind or even getting out in front have been huge to propelling the Flames to a lot of their wins this year.
Well, the win goes to Jake Griffin, and the loss goes to Ryan Cooper on the night, who pitched so well until he came out of the ball game. For Brandon Ross, I'm Eric Moon saying so long and good night for now. Flames will take on the Spartans tomorrow at 5, or their next game will be back here at OCC at 5 o'clock against the Syracuse Saltcats on Sunday. Good night from Onondaga.